Tonight, we bring you this week's flight sim news, an AA-5B Tiger, iFly 737 MAX, SayIntentions are here with Entourage, and maybe, just maybe, a fucking wolf. Hello? Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. You're very welcome to the middle of the week, the halftime show, the midweek shuffle. It's time for the news and right, the sounds, right? Janie, then Lunarscape got in here before the stream even started. Come on yourself. So where we're at, I was supposed to be showcasing the incoming FlyingIron simulations, the Fucking Wolf, the FW190. However, the release candidate that they said, right lads, have at it, it contains an issue that we can't extract the file. So it's a little Murphy thing, Murphy's Law. So I know FlyingIron, they're in Australia, right? So if they wake up in time, we'll definitely show it off. And if not, we'll do something else, relatively soon. But it is a fairly busy night all the same, friends, because we're going to be checking out a brand new release by BRSIM Designs. This one is the Grumman, the FB Tiger, a small little general aviation airplane. We're also going to be having a little more of a delve into the iFly 737 MAX. And while we're with that aircraft, well, SayIntentions are going to be joining us. Brian is going to be in the chat. And we're going to be talking about their new product called Entourage. This is going to be savage. Brian has told me he's been working on his Jesus in front of the camera. So I can't wait to see what the guys at SayIntentions are working at. So, yeah, right, we'll have to see kind of what happens. There's plenty of news tonight. We saw that, of course, Microsoft have opened up the applications if you'd like to join the Tech Alpha. Couple of things that'll get your hands on the sim early on, but expect it to be in kind of a cruel, unusual state. That's usually what happens there, So I have to keep an eye on my Discord. What time is it in Australia, by the way? Also, in real world news, to all our friends watching from America, especially kind of, in the southeast, go handy now. There's a massive hurricane on the way there, so we're wishing you guys, the safest of safes, and lock up, batten down the hatches, and hopefully before you know it, it'll all be grand. But they were saying something like 250 kilometre an hour gusts. Right. What was your one's name? With the Irish one. What's this? Don't make any unnecessary sandwiches. What was her name again? Some say she's gone out there to reporting it. But yeah, we'll have to see what the crack is. But anyway, hope you're all keeping very well. It's a mad week. I'm up in a hoop, right? Nothing happened on Monday. We went flying yesterday, which was beautiful, around Turkey. And now tonight, before we even know it, it's the news. So it's all kind of go, lads. It's all got... Who's Egypt and who's Egypt, though? Do you know? We're good-looking lads, good-looking lads. But anyway, yeah, I'm all paranoid looking at the, where's the thing? Right. Anyway, let us ramble into the chat, say hello and good evening to everyone, and we'll get ourselves up and running here, shall we? QC Frank was first. Come on, Frank. Retriever Neil is here. Happy Wednesday. Vacuum is in the house. Super Typhon. More iFly stuff despite flying it 3 times. Well, Super Ty, here's the thing, man. The iFly 737, it actually is, I think, one of the... It's just refreshing. It's just refreshing. Because in the last kind of fortnight, when all the drama around Aerosoft, and we'll be chatting about them again tonight, but all the drama around Aerosoft where, what new plane, and it's going to do this, and it's going to do that, right? iFly were relatively quiet about what they were doing. Couple of pictures, yeah, we're working on it. And that was it, right? So kind of, the elephant in the room who was screaming, it turned out to be, and the fellas who were quiet turned out to be, rather good. So we'll have a little closer look at it, and more for you guys to say, hey, what does this do? What does that do? We have updates regarding the pricing. No release date yet, but sure, listen, we'll see how we go. Plus, I wanted to show the airliner off because, we want to do some, SayIntentions stuff as well. See how it all kind of, right, but it's all mixed in. But anyway, over here, look. Be Janie. Do you know what I mean? You just know it's grand when you have music like that playing. Anyway, who is here? Commander Balosh, welcome in. Eamon 1973. Hi, everyone, he says. QC Frank has subscribed for 18 months, man. Thank you very, very much indeed. Great to see you. Now, Ozzy Mandius is here. Good morning or evening. Wait, what time is it with you, Ozzy? Viper Strike is in the house. Welcome aboard. Old Veteran 965. Scott, a very happy Wednesday. Little Trader is here. Wednesday night at last. Indeed it is. Sir Campsalot, AJH, man. Martin Kerry Aviation has subscribed 25 months. Martin, thank you very, very much indeed. Lads, if you haven't already, do be sure to ramble over to Instagram and have a look for Martin or just Kerry Aviation, and you'll see some amazing photographs. He does beautiful stuff, so do be sure to check it out. Jan Drace, happy Wednesday. Spitfire RAF 100 is here. Welcome aboard. Stockholm Skies, welcome in. Mr. Scoo, fasten your seatbelts. I'm telling you. Good to see you, man. Also, Mr. Scoo gave me an absolute deluge of information regarding the FW190, so fingers crossed we'll have to play with the thing later on, right? But anyway, Energizer's in the house. He says, evening all. Which mad lad muppet gave us rain all week? All week it's raining. It's nuts. Do you know? AZ Blue Line. Wait, Energizer, did you receive something in the mail today? Are you even here? Let's see what happens. Will he answer? I'm cleaning the house, he'll say. AZ Blue Line, you're very welcome aboard. Now, let me see. Emma Gaz, welcome in. Goblin Zeus is here. Nutty Slack. Rain makes everything nice and green. Indeed, and it does. Night Zepp, very happy Wednesday. PH Roy is here. He says, good evening. Welcome in, Roy. Kirk had to go big time. Jesus, you're watching the stream with flippers and goggles. The Jesus go handy in that weather. Soaring AJ. AJH, man, you're looking well. Soaring AJ, wrap up tight there now. Fierce tight. Do you know? What's the weather like at the moment? WB1990. Ahoy, ahoy. Welcome in, man. PS Morandai. Hello there. You're looking well. Willow How Much is here. He says, howdy, folks. There's only one place I need to be, and that's here, watching Mr. Murphy. Mr. Murphy, right? Imagine, Mr. That's when I get in trouble. Lunarscape got botted, but it's okay. Newsage Day is here, says Belbro. Let's not all disagree. We travel the world on 7 seas. Everybody's looking for something. That's a song, isn't it? That's out of a song. Someone tell me that's out of a song. It is out of a song. Welcome in, Belbro. Toto was here. Good to see you. Now let me see. Shuffle Shoes shuffles in. AJH John, you're looking well. Flying Trits has subscribed for 7 months. He says, hey, Murph and chat. Hope you're all well. Flying Trits, thank you very, very much indeed, my guy. Hope all is well with yourself. Helric is here. Lee Dixon, good evening. Sai120 has rambled in. 98 Vulcan, I woke up in time. Good man yourself, welcome aboard. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the man, myth and legend himself, Jefferson 2001, has joined us in our foray of commune group. I'll think of the words. How are you, Jefferson? Good to see you, man. You're looking well. Right, where's this now? He has his voice back, but he still has the man flu. Yeah, Jesus, terrible. I sounded better yesterday, I think. Do you know, lads, I went back to work today. Stupidest thing. So, woke up this morning at 5, you know, and all these noises, you know, that was me. How the missus puts up with me. Anyway, dragged myself into the shower, scalded the self off me, then froze myself, best way to wake up, and got into the car. And it was the most horrid drive. Am I there yet? And then the tyre indicator came on, and I had to stop and put air in my tyre. I was very fragile this morning. Do you know, I was a little kind of, you know, fragile little kind of a thing. But it's okay. We survived the day. We've made it home. And I instantly jumped into the bed. Straight when I got home. I'm going to bed. But now we're awake. And all is well. Do you know, my second wind, sorted. We'll see. Worst case scenario, I'll just pass out. Dude 84, good to see you. Chox is here. Fierce Wolf, looking fierce and wolfy. Jamaumu, welcome aboard. Where's this now? No sound. Scott, you pressed the button too quick. I heard the sound though, frightened the life out of me, but thank you very much indeed. Right, over here now. Fornax, welcome in. Who's this now? How does one pronounce this? Is it Dominic Nona? Welcome in, Dom. What's up? Hope you're well. Now, it's Australian time. Indeed it is. You might as well speedrun to not keep the SayIntentions crew waiting. Super tight. It's grand. It's grand. Totally fine. Hype train on a Wednesday. Whatever next test pilot. Good to see you. Frankenstein is here. Wondering if Murph is wearing his Adonis low. Oh, that. Yeah, right. We need to make them. The swimsuit issue. You know, the logo to, you know, cover your unmentionables. But anyway, good to see you, man. Mr. Scoo says, just in madness in Microsoft Flight Sim 2020, all the simmers down around Hurricane Milton. Yeah. The sim is actually doing a pretty good job depicting it. But yeah, nuts, lads, nuts. Right. Where I'm over here, look. Cyrus T, good to see you. Wayland Tutani, good evening. SK Sun is here. Paparazzi is in the house. Where's this now? We're catching up. Flying Tonight is here. Rage Quit Alert. Microsoft Flight Sim can test the patience of a saint sometimes. Rage quit is a thing. It can happen, right? It can absolutely happen, but it'd be grand, right? It's a love-hate relationship. Is it fair to say that the Irish invented Murphy's Law? That'd be a hard question. That's a real case of, you know, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Do you know, was Murphy the first Irishman? Did Murphy... No, he didn't. No, the Irish invented Murphy. Of course they did. Although the name Murphy, funny enough, do you know the way you kind of do like these family... Not a family tree, but, you know, genealogy and all this sort of stuff, right? And, with Murphy, O'Muraku, or Murakada, right? And it follows all the way, and it kind of heads kind of east, right? Southeast. And it goes to Murrock, and then Morshock, and something else, and something else, and something else. Anyway, the earliest kind of utterance of the word Murphy, well, it happened, friends, way, way back in time. Cast your minds back to a Wednesday afternoon in ancient Greece, right? And all the Greek lads are sitting around having a cup of tea and a smoke, and one fella bashed his foot on a stone, and he uttered the words, right, and over the centuries they were telling the story until someone actually came up with the name Murphy, and that's exactly how the name Murphy became. It's a blatant lie, but it sounded interesting, didn't it? Come on, right? I mean, how far back does your name go? Not as far back as Murphy. The most popular. Some people like to say it's the most common name. There's nothing common about it. It's the most popular name, you know, in Ireland. That and Flynn, seemingly.
Can I get a refund?
No, shag off. There's no refunds. I think O'Neill is up there as well, you know. And then there's all kind of, you know, they branched out the Murphys, you know, the Murrays, you know, and, well, that was basically it, the Murrays and the Murphys, right? There was a disagreement at like some sort of a dinner or something. Shag off, I'm taking my name. No, you can't. We're taking it. And they got rid of the P. Another blatant lie, but it does sound interesting, especially over dinner. Tarnis is here, good to see you. Now, let me see. I'm just here for the news, says Tub. You're in the right place. Right, over here. Energizer says, Murph, I did, yes. I'm key binding like I'm the fastest gun in the West before the other half finds out the price. So Energizer put some pictures up on our Discord today, and they were win-wing boxes. And we all kind of said the same thing when we saw them. Do you know the way, like, we're very happy for other people when they get stuff, and we say, oh, look at that lucky person. No, we're all sitting there going, yeah, but how do you know? You're so jealous, right? And then he kind of said, yeah, the missus came home and she saw them all. Right? Oh, Jesus. Anyway, enjoy them anyway, do you know? I'd be a bit like the cat now at this stage. I'd have more fun with the boxes because, well, it's hardware setup is always kind of, right? But it'd be grand. Zybot calling from Denmark. Hello from Tipperary. I hope you're keeping very well. Cold Nebo is here. Welcome in. Mick Ham, welcome. And Bill Barrett, welcome aboard, lads. It's Murphy Clock News, says Balut. Good to see you, Balut. Sweet Dreams by the Eurythmics. Oh, yeah. I once called them the Arithmetics. Years ago. Was it a quiz? And I couldn't remember the name. Not like me to not nail the name first time, you know what I mean? The Arithmetics and the looks I got. And I was like, yeah, you know, Sweet Dreams, you have to do the dance, you know. The Arithmetics. Yeah. I wasn't invited back to the next one. But anyway, who else is here? Look, Muse is here, of course. How he is, his mad jokes is. Happy hump day. Good to see you, Muse fan. Right, over here. B. Carlo, welcome aboard. Stick Figure, greetings. Of course it was horrid. You were in a Skoda. Wait, what? Goblin Zoo says, we are receiving the storm Kirk, remains of Hurricane Kirk in France. It's in northern central and the Atlantic coast. In my region, southeastern. We have winds and clouds, but it's okay so far. Jesus. Soaring AJ says, tropical storm winds beginning here. Hurricane force winds to arrive at my location late tonight. I don't expect to lose power until after the stream. I was looking at it on VentuSky, and I'll show you that website now in a bit, actually. I've shown it before, but it looks Jesus like it, right? And I think it's around kind of 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock Irish time. It makes landfall. But yeah, bloody hell, lads, it's going to be a rough one. One Fly Air is here. Good to see you, my guy. Hope you're well. The Blaze rambles in. The Forgetful Larry. What's the crack now, then? How are you, Larry? Hope you're keeping very well. Onboard Simulations, happy Wednesday. Cyrus T, the man of teal, pressing the teal button. Did that light fall over? No. Oh. It's okay. Right, who else is here, look? Italian Yang fan, good to see you, man. You're looking well. Shunty McShuntface, welcome aboard. Adam Murphy, I know an Adam Murphy. I'm related to one. In actual fact, I have a brother called Adam Murphy. Shunty McShuntface, what is your name? It is you. Goblin Zeus, good luck for all the people in Florida. Indeed, absolutely. Larry Gopnik is here. I know Murphy, Murphys, and Murphrees. Wait, what? Murphy was followed by Jesus. I am a Scotsman is here. Good to see you, man. Hope you're keeping very well. The Murphy Brood. I think the story was clipped at one point. What are you talking about? Amito. Belbro says, a bit like the Platoosh Maker. No, come here. That's a classic. I told that story. I shouldn't be saying things like this, but I told that story to our driver, bringing us from, friggin' Flagstaff up to the Grand Canyon. Now, it was an hour and a half drive. Now, it didn't last an hour and a half. And after I told the thing, there was no more talking in the car at all.
Big 10-4, good buddy.
The conversation just immediately took a nosedive and let's just sit here in silence, right? It's me. It's me. Already mentioned by Homer, Morphus of Troy, right? It was right. Do you know what I mean? Paddy too. My family name was Irish for strange-looking people who smell like sheep dung. Jesus. Kev Sim Corner is here. Good to see you, Kev. You're looking well, man. Hope you're happy out and loads of flying. Sun Jammer is here. Welcome aboard. Defiant Brawn. Welcome in, my dude. Helrick says, is Murphy a name that's only used when they've run out of Guinness? Well, now, hang on a second, right? Guinness is great. Murphy's isn't bad, but it depends where you get it, right? We should do that one night. We should have a pint of Guinness, a pint of Murphy's, and a pint of Beamish. Does Gibbo drink any other stout other than Guinness? Has he tried a pint of Murphy's, right? Now, people always say Murphy's is very sweet. I have a button for that. Let's say it again this time, and actually make, they say Murphy's is very sweet. That's just what they say, but shut up, will you? It was a joke. Well, it wasn't. That was true, actually. Real news. Fake news? Real news. Yes. Right. Where were we? Mr. Scoo, yes. Just hit Florida West Coast. Jesus. Hangar Studios is here. Have you signed up for the Alpha yet? I have. Oh, God, I have. And, we'll see what happens there. Everyone gets... Anyone I do kind of early work with, right?
63 million years ago, in a Jurassic jungle pond,
yes,
the first Murph poked its head out of the water.
Yes.
Taking its first breath, followed by, Jesus.
Right! I mean, come on! If David or Richard, if one of the Attenboroughs can say it, it was David Attenborough. I mean, if he said it, it has to be true, right? Do you know, I was in Jurassic Park, sure. Right. That was brilliant. Moobot is giving out to poor old Lunarscape. Lunarscape, you're getting a terrible old doom from the bots tonight. But Hangar Studios, yes, signed up. When I work, when I try and help out identifying things, I like to give a load of feedback or very little feedback. Usually when I give very little feedback, it means that I'm just enjoying the thing too much. But if I give loads of feedback, it means that, well, I am enjoying it, but I found stuff. Do you know? But yeah, it'll be fun. Angry Lou is here. Good to see you. Nightstep says, Murph is suffering from a vicious variant of man flu. Symptoms are flying into mountains, bald patch at the back of the head, and severe deviations from the flight plan. Jesus. What are you... Right, I can't fix this, lads. Just no, I can start wearing a hat. I was considering wearing a hat, but I'd look weird with a hat. Right, now, you won't get it around your head, Murph. Well, right, oh, Jesus, where was I? I was up here now and everything moved. Sean Dale, good to see you. We have a politician in the UK called Lord Adonis, no less. Jesus. Right, Neo is here, my dude. 25 months. Thank you very, very much indeed for all your support. Retriever Neil says, Murph, you'd be in heaven where I work at the moment. I've had over 100 Skodas delivered for defleeting. Come here. Right, I mean, do you play kind of Celine Dion music or something when you see them? Or Sinead O'Connor even. Something kind of nice, do you know? Led Ballooner, good to see you. Yeah, we're feeling better, slowly but surely, you know. Charlie, that was hilarious. Murphy, oh, you got that? I already got... See, I'm catching up. Right, we're over here now. Wayland says, and the first Murphy stubbed his toe and retreated back into the water. Brilliant. The bot won't allow me to laugh out loud. Yeah, it's very, you know... It does its thing. McCracken Air is here. Good to see you, man. Right, I took the plunge and pre-ordered Flight Sim 2024 today. I haven't told the missus yet. Say nothing. It's totally fine. There is nothing to worry about. Right, nothing to worry about. Right, now, over here, look, more buttons. To our YouTube viewers, hey folks, you're very welcome in. Virtual Flight Diaries is here. Delta Bravo, welcome in. Thrust Set Simulations, Craig Malton, Frankenstein is there as well. Why Can Yes, Maddie Lynn, Stevie is here. Kieran Niall, welcome aboard. Hey, John. John C, 9393. Captain Yorkie, he says hello from a windy County Mayo. We wouldn't have it any other way. Mrs. TPHI17, she says, hello, Murph, and Fireflies. How are you? Ed Cox is here. He says, Kentucky saying hello. Hello from Tipperary, Ed. Hope you're well. Dead Stick is here. He says, howdy. How's she going? Fair to middling. Medic24 Life is here. Howdy to you. Now, let me see. Is it Shahan? Can I join the Discord server? You can, of course. ! Discord will bring you in. The Limbics is here. Good to see you. Doing the work lurk today. Sounding better today. Thank you, the Limbics. David Bartley, welcome aboard. Ron E. Dillard, he goes, how do you get the Canada Airplane on an Xbox account? It should be there from Microsoft directly, I would have thought, Ron. I'm Ron Burger. I thought, if you pre-ordered it through the marketplace or through, Xbox, well, you should be able to get it there. You know what I mean? Well, sure, look, lads, we'll have to wait and see. Right, shall we? We shall. We'll go back to the thing here now. What does this button do? I'm about to turn off all my lights.
Time to pull the big switch, good buddy.
We just got raided by a raiding party of raiders. Hello, Art. Welcome in, my dude. Welcome in, Raiders. Hope you guys had an awesome stream. You've just joined us in time for the news, right? For the news. As Texas One Flyboy has jumped into the chat, subscribing for 29 months. Thank you very, very much indeed. Dude, insane support. Medic Aviation, thank you for the follow. And right, we'll do some buttons, will we? Turn off this light.
Hello there.
Right, it's all happening now. Right, and we'll come over here, look. Brilliant. And I didn't turn on the other camera. I was having too much fun with that last night. And I nearly did actually run over me toe. Came very close to it now, right? Came very close to it. Right, lads, so we have a fairly busy one tonight. The aircraft we can see on the screen here is that of the BRSIM Design, the Grumman the AA-5B. We'll be having a look at this now in a moment, but as you can see, it looks very nice, doesn't it? It looks very nice. Flipper Ally, good to see you. Kurt is here, good to see you, man. So what we have the usual array of stuff to go through, and well, it all starts off with the news, right? So we'll come over here, and where's my news? Is this my news? Here's my news. Right, bring over the tab of tabs here. And a big shout out to, well, all our friends who do the hard work. They do all the writing up. That camera's gone scoways, look. All the lads who do all the work when it comes to the news. We have Vasco over at MSFS addons.com. We have Callum and the lads at FS Elite. And I thought I had something else there. Maybe not. Usually the guys over at Threshold as well. Some incredible stuff when it comes to the news. Now, we'll start off with something you're probably aware of, but we better shout it again. FSReborn have released the TL3000, the Sirius for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now, this aircraft, we got to fly this pre-release, right? And I've flown it a little bit after its release. And we're actually going to be flying this next Monday on our Ancient World Wonders, right? Babylon, right? And wasn't there a song called Babylon? Anyway, we're going to be flying this machine right here. The TL3000, an ultralight, has been released for Microsoft Flight Sim, courtesy of FSReborn. Now, the dedication to realism and immersion from REL is second to none. It's amazing what he can do. This aircraft, it's a light sport aircraft, completely brought to life within the sim. It was introduced in 2010. It's a high-wing sibling of the TL2000 Sting aircraft. TL Ultralight drew on the experience of more than 700 low-wing aircraft to create the Sirius, focusing on a spacious cockpit, the ultra-modern equipment, excellent visibility, and a surprisingly large luggage compartment. What makes this aircraft... Boney M. See, Olsen, Boney M. The thing about this aircraft, even though it's classed as an ultralight, or I think in Australia, it's like a sports license, I think Ozflight was telling me. But anyway, the idea, like, usually you're heavily restricted to the capability of the aircraft. This thing, it's phenomenal. It has a Rotex engine, but it's almost like a baby Cessna. It's very, very good. The aircraft features a side-by-side seating arrangement, fixed tricycle landing gear, and a strut-based wing. Performance figures a cruise speed of about 119 miles per hour, maximum speed of 140, has a range of about 870 miles, and a service ceiling of 16,500 feet. Now, the aircraft that we get from FSReborn, it's incredible. We've seen it. There's two standard layout, or two standard airplanes, the FSR 500 and the Sting 4. This is kind of what brought FSReborn into the whole mix. And the Sirius looks set to follow these two excellent aircraft because, well, realistic night lighting, it's using the most up-to-date computation fluid dynamics, that's all the prop physics, right? Realistic flight model tested by actual TL3000 pilots. Rain and icing effects are all there. Highly accurate 3D model and animation, opening doors. And this is where the thing gets, like, wow. Fully custom engine carburetor physics have been modelled. So the carburetor, if you like put the divel upside down, right, she'll cut out. It also includes the choke behaviour due to ambient and engine temperature, inverted flight consequences, and many other real-world behaviour. Custom-coded checklist as per the original POH, a tablet EFB to operate many options of the aircraft, including fuel, weight, chocks, all the pitot tube covers, tyre pressure, brake pads, the battery, engine maintenance, bulb maintenance, absolutely incredible stuff. Custom maintenance model is there as well. And of course, it features the ballistic rescue system known as CAPS, effectively a giant parachute that'll bring the aircraft down. It's the second aircraft in Microsoft Flight Sim capable of bringing this technology and experience to users, the first being the Sting S4. And when we look at a lot of kind of modern small aircraft, they all feature the CAPS system. What does Sirius call it? A CAPS? Sirius aircraft? Or they call it something else? But it is a thing that's like becoming more and more popular, which is class. And of course, Reborn were like, yeah, we'll do that. And Rail managed to make it work. Do you know? The Ripper says, Murph, I flew in real life a Grumman Tiger, which is also known as the Widowmaker because of the throttle behaviour. If you give the throttle too fast, nothing will happen. No throttle increase at all. Oh, really? We'll have a look. But anyway, this aircraft is now released. It also works with the GTN 750, both of them, PMS 50 or the TDS. There's 10 liveries included. All the sounds as well. I remember Raoul sent me a photograph on a random Sunday morning or something. Guess what I'm at today? And here's a whole load of microphones around an actual TL3000. Pretty cool, right? So all the sounds are bang on the money as well. So if you haven't got this aircraft, Raoul said he is going to update this for 2024. It'll be worked on straight away as backward compatibility, and Raoul's plan is to make this thing up and running, including a free upgrade, which is going to include a floater variant, taking advantage of all the new water physics we're going to be seeing in Flight Sim 2024. The aircraft is available now. You can pick it up on the marketplace, and is priced at $24.99 US, available only on PC at the minute. Xbox will follow very soon, and the idea behind that is it gives FSReborn the chance to kind of squash any bugs that may appear before they roll it onto Xbox. So I can't say enough good things about this aircraft. We're going to be flying it next Monday if you're still on the fence, but it's a solid general aviation airplane. And if you didn't want to be flying the likes of, say, the FSR or the Sting, you're getting the same features here when it comes to the wear and tear and the maintenance element. It's pretty cool. It's more than just let's go flying. There's a bit of consequence to this, and it's great. It really is great. So do be sure to have a look at that, and it'll be interesting to see what happens. With 2024 physics, especially with the water. That could be nuts, right? Now, moving on, BlackBox Simulations. I reached out to these guys and he never came back to me. I must have upset him. But anyway, BlackBox Simulations have released the Islander Turbine variant, right? Brand new release for Microsoft Flight Sim. Couple of teasers and previews over the past few months. BlackBox Simulations have launched this week the Turbine Islander, and a confirmed release for 2024 coming soon. The new variant of the Britten-Norman Islander introduces turboprop engines to the model that BlackBox Simulations launched back in 2021. It offers enhanced performance for both civilian and military enthusiasts. So, the BN2T Turbine Islander, available with 4 model variants. You have the civilian, you have the military, you have the airborne early warning, and also the Defender 4000. Look at this. Like, who flies that, right? Look at the nose on that thing, look. Jesus. Now, I will say, anyone living in Ireland, we've all seen the Defender 4000 for years. It was the Garda aeroplane. It was the first airplane that the Guards flew, and it didn't have a mad-looking nose like that now. They just wouldn't be allowed to take off at it. Look at the state of that. Do you know, that had it had some sort of a nickname, didn't it? It had to have. But the Defender 4000, a very capable aircraft, the thing just wanted to stay in the sky all day. And it had endurance of something like 8 hours or something. Nuts. Absolutely nuts. So yes, according to BlackBox simulations, the aircraft comes equipped with advanced avionics, including the Garmin, the GI-275, or the G1. It's an ADI and HSI, a GMC 500 autopilot system, and additionally it features configurable camera pods, external stores, and a wide range of liveries. They promise that the Turbine Islander offers accurate turboprop flight dynamics, closely replicating the performance of the Rolls-Royce Allison Model 250. The aircraft's avionics suite also includes a Collins ProLine 2 ComNav radio system and a fully functional weather radar systems from both Collins and Bendix. Wait, what? Right. So here's what I have to say about black box simulations, right? When it comes to the modeling and the texture work, they're of good quality. I think they're all right. One or two eyesores can appear, right? But overall, they're nice, right? They're grand. Where I think black box excel, it's the hand flying, right? They're incredibly nice airplanes to fly. And we've experienced that with everything that they released. The L19s, the Islander, the Trilander, like even the, what was the Shorts 350 today? Like incredible aircraft to fly. Do you know what I mean? So I'd be grabbing this. We'll probably put this on the stream next week so we can have a now look at it. And where is this now? The model of the Turbine Islander, modeled using detailed blueprints, according to BlackBox, and includes a full set of underwing stores. Nice. It's available now, priced at $34.99. Ooh, it's not terribly cheap, but we can pick it up from BlackBox Simulations directly. I'll pick this up during the week, lads, and we'll have a look at this next week, right? Because I do like what BlackBox do with their aircraft. They've picked very strange aircraft. Do you know what I mean? 4 Second Shark, good to see you, man. Yeah, the sounds are quite good as well. They do a great job. Now, iFly, we'll be having a look at this a little bit later, but they have announced pricing for the upcoming 737 MAX. Basically, they're going to release this for $69.95. This is up with the PMDG brand. If you've already purchased this aircraft in P3D, you'll get a discount of 40%, reducing the price to $41.97. So it's a $70 add-on, and that's the price they're going with. What are your thoughts on that? Like, I'm sure you've seen by now by the number of previews and the depth of simulation you're getting with this aircraft. There's quite a bit going on. For that price, what do you think? Is it dear? Is it, no, it's okay, it's fair? Or is it, no, it's actually all right? Do you know? Considering as well the completeness of the airplane, the sounds are done by Boris, right? The systems are very, very good. They have, working wipers. It's as close. What's the best way to say about it? It's a Phoenix level simulation of a Boeing aircraft with a little bit of caveats. Do you know what I mean? Too much. I think it's a fair price. Interesting. Better than the A330 drama. Oh, Jesus. But anyway, we'll have a gawk at this in a little bit. Now, speaking of the devil, Aerosoft have released the Airbus A330. They released a CEO base pack. Their idea here is, well, we'll give you the base pack and then we'll do a Pro version. Now, this should go down in history as this is what not to do when it comes to releasing an aircraft. Right? And who am I? I don't release aircraft, so who am I to question this? All I can say is this. The story behind Aerosoft and their A330, right? There was all talk, we're making this thing, it's going to be study level, it's going to be the cat's whiskers and the dog's pajamas, it's going to be brilliant. And then they told us, we need to delay the project. And we were like, all right, we'll delay it. And then they turned around and said, no, we're going to wait now until it comes to Flight Sim 2024. All right. And then out of nowhere, they released it. Instantly. Okay, pull up the handbrake now for a second, right? So I was lucky enough to be involved in kind of the early access of this aircraft, and there was an embargo. You're not to show anyone. This is this is it, lads. Let us know what you think. And there was me and a good few other guys, and we were like, do you know? Well, let's be, it looks nice, right? Yeah, exterior model and the interior, it's nice, lads. Yeah, very good. Sounds were, yeah, good sounds. But there's a couple of problems. And there's a couple of, I can't fly the plane problems. So you don't mind small problems. Big problems, right? So, autopilot stuff, you can kind of get away. Yeah, okay, the autopilot is shagged. We'll fix it later. Fair enough. But, there was WASM, WebAssembly security thingy problems. As in, you load in, doesn't work, restart the sim, try it again, still doesn't work, restart the sim, you know, turn around 3 times and then it'll work. This sort of stuff, right? And some of the other issues, of course, then came to, lads, the interior. What are you thinking? Like, you've a cabin. Do you really need to put that cabin in there? I mean, you'd almost be better off not having a cabin in there. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying now, but like, you know. Anyway, the autopilot, it can't do direct to, or like every waypoint you put in, it's like it's friggin' slaloming, it's trying to get to it. And out of nowhere, you could be flying along, and next thing the aircraft says, do you know, I want to go this direction. And off it goes. And when it starts going that direction, it's, do you know, I'm going to start pulling up, right? And as it pulls up, it stalls. And then it says, do you know, I'm going to crash. The aircraft does it itself. What? Right? So this is the feedback. We were like, lads, Bajani then, there's a few issues here. And no communication, and it was released. And we're kind of like, Jesus, like, this is going to upset some people. And they released it. And all I can kind of fathom from all of this is, I think the development team who are working on this aircraft are absolutely passionate about this project. I really think they are, because, I mean, they're trying to respond to all the drama. And there is drama. I mean, Emmerdale, Coronation Street, Murder, She Wrote, feckin' The Bill, Home and Away, Away in a Home, and what was the other programme? The Good Wife. All combined into the one sitcom that was Aerosoft. The whole thing was going off, right? The drama was unbelievable. I think the developers were trying to do what they were trying to do, but there's something up on top. There's a dude or there's something, right, calling the shots, right? You know, do you remember the X-Files? Do you remember the bad fella in it? You know, smoking all the cigarettes. That kind of a devil, you know. No, you're going to do this now. Meanwhile, you have a company of Aerosoft who have already established themselves as a great name in the flight sim community. And let us not forget, one of the best airport sceneries of all time was released in the earliest days of release for Microsoft Flight Sim. This was a gift from Aerosoft, and it was their home airport. What was it called? In Germany, is it? Incredible. This was a gift. Freeware. We're like, Jesus, look at this. Look at what, you know, look at the possibilities. Paderborn, that's the one. It was amazing, lads. Paderborn was absolutely amazing, and they gave it to us as a gift. That's how you do things. Then we saw the CRJ and we're like, oh, finally, this is our first airliner. Our first airliner in the sim came from Aerosoft. It wasn't perfect, you shouted it, right?
Switch, good buddy.
Adam Controls is here with a raid of raiders. Welcome in, raiders. Hope you had a great stream, Adam. You're very welcome back to the controls of Dublin. I'm just chatting briefly about Aerosoft and the A330. But anyway, the point I'm making is, you have this...
Allow myself to introduce
myself. You have this established great company who make incredible add-ons. Their sceneries. You know, what do they call... What's their line of, like, some of their sceneries? Brussels? You know, it's like their pro line. It's like these are the best we can do, right? Then we saw the Twin Otter, and again, this was another excellent aircraft. And the next thing we saw, well, there's delays happening all of a sudden. And then the CRJs weren't getting updated. And then scenery started coming out an awful lot slower. And then Mathis left. Or Matthias. I was watching James Bond the other day. Mathis, the devil. Matthias left. And then we're kind of saying to ourselves, mega airports, that was it. Then we're kind of saying to ourselves, what's going on with Aerosoft? And if you look at Aerosoft this week, in a week that they absolutely made a complete and utter bollocks of flight sim and stuff, they only go and release a new farm sim game and a new truck sim game. What? Aerosoft, like, what is going on? So I think it's very rough for the developers who are trying to make this aircraft as good as they can, but they were told to release it anyway. Like, it's absolutely nuts what happened. It really, really is. Like, that should be a lesson in time. If you ever want to make a complete and utter mess of something, do exactly this. And you even had people saying, lads, don't release the thing. Don't release the thing. Now, looking at the aircraft as it is, there are some decent features. As I said, it looks pretty nice. And I'm not sure who made the model of it. I don't think Airsoft built that model in-house. I think it was someone else. But I'm not sure if I could say it, so I'm not going to say it. But I think it was someone else, right? But anyway, the sounds are actually quite good. And even the textures inside, they're not terrible in the cockpit. At least, it's pretty nice. And their EFB, it's quite good. It's nice, it's simple, it's, you know, it can follow stuff, and you've all that jazz. But I think to release an aircraft in a state that it's not ready, at a time they told us you're not getting it to 2024, at a time that you see them pushing out other games and sims that they're working on, I think to the flight sim community, this looks nothing else other than a cash grab. A cash grab. That's all it is. It's a cash grab. And I think they've gone about this all the wrong way. Aerosoft have a legacy in the flight sim community. They've been there for years and years. They're a hardware seller for the stuff in Europe. So they have a very prestigious name. They have to do something about this. They can't just now, oh, you saw what we did, eh? Yeah, well, let's move on. Look, we now have a new train sim. But what are you doing? You can't be doing things like that. They need to address this. Aerosoft have to address this. And I don't mean the developers. It's not their fault. They can only develop. It's the publishing part of it. Get the thing ready, but it's not ready. Get it ready. Did they not read the news? Did they not look at the news? Look what happened to Boeing. Don't listen to the upper echelons, right? So I think what should happen is they should come out and say, lads, yeah, we completely made a mess of this, right? And there will be a free update to bring it to the standards that we would expect. That would fix it. That would absolutely fix it. But what have they done? They've now completely shook our trust with a company that 9 times out of 10 we would say they are a safe bet. They've broken that trust, or they've at least shook the bejesus out of it. Do you know what I mean? Am I wrong, lads? Like, that's how I feel about it. And like, I love Aerosoft. I think they're a great company. Their legacy, it's prestigious. Do you know what I mean? It's not like they just appeared and they're not like the other lads. But now people are comparing them to, you know, the other lads. Hey, Captain Sim has competition. What? It's this Aerosoft. They're not in the same league. But doing this puts them right into that league. Do you know what I mean? So, I don't know. Let's see what happens. Like, time will tell what is going to happen with Aerosoft. I really, really hope they turn this thing around. Because, like, you'd want to see their Discord. And again, like, devs and moderators and all the lads involved in the team, they're getting bashed sideways. And I really think this was some sort of a corporate decision. It had to have been. Do you know what I mean? Like, who in the right mind, when you consider even the timing of this thing, you know, let's get it out now. Really? In this state? You know, Phoenix, PMDG, iFly, they're all doing airliners. They're all very, very good. You're going to push this out? Hello? Do you know? But anyway, let's see what happens, friends. But if you have the aircraft, can you fly it from A to B? Yes, kind of. But lads, it's a fucking disaster. It is a disaster of a release. Do you know, they should have known better. But anyway, we shall move on from that tale of woe and move over adjacent. LatinVFR have released their own Airbus A330. I mean, did someone say, we're doing it? Balls, they're doing it, quick. Get ours out now before... Right? Anyway, LatinVFR have, of course, released their Airbus A330. This is the 200 variant. And, yeah... Spotlight has been mostly on Aerosoft's. Well, LatinVFR got theirs out as well, especially considering both aircraft share a similar target audience with essential cockpit functionality rather than depth system simulation. And just to go back on Aerosoft, they didn't say they were making an essential light version. All the PR that we got for the A330 was supposed to be top-notch. That was the PR. You show me a document or, you know, a video where they're saying we're going to release a light with essential buttons. You show me where they said that in the last 6 to 12 months and then I'll, you know, eat my own hat or something. But they didn't. They said it was going to be very good. But anyway, LatinVFR, they're not lying about it. They're saying, hey, look, this is essential cockpit functionality. This is not aiming to be study level. And to be fair to LatinVFR, they never said they were going to do they were never going to do study level. They did say, because we know, what were the lads called? They had these add-ons, enhancements for some of the LatinVFR aircraft. They're actually quite good, right? Oh, Jesus, the name is off the top of my head. Someone in the... Headwind. They looked at the LatinVFR stuff and said, you know, we can tweak this. And they did. And they became very, very good, right? And then LatinVFR said, right, hang on, listen, we're not going to give it to these guys straight away. We want to challenge ourselves. And this was about maybe 7 or 8 months ago. LatinVFR said this. We want to challenge ourselves to see, can we make our aircraft a little bit more in depth? more depth to our systems and stuff. And that's kind of where it went. But anyway, LatinVFR, it arrived in the marketplace priced at $24.99, cheaper than Aerosoft, with a free update promise for Flight Sim 2024. It's going to be available on both PC and Xbox, providing a new wide-body option for simmers on consoles, which traditionally always had fewer complex airliner options. Without even delving through it, the LatinVFR system, they're very good on liveries. They do all the interiors, 40 liveries here, 3 engine variants. The flight model, they kind of tweak the default one, so like there isn't a native A330 in the sim. They have the A320 down to a fine art, and they just kind of tweak that to make it a little bit more heavier. That's kind of what they do here. So it's not really just like a new skin on an aircraft. There's a little bit of logic, but it's kind of like a nice skin with a bit of logic. Do you know what I mean? So that's available right now. You can pick it up in the in-sim marketplace, $24.99. Again, if you're expecting any sort of depth of simulation when it comes to the systems, not your cup of tea, this one. Not your cup of tea in this one. We also know when it comes to these larger aircraft, well, Builds just so happen to sponsor the channel, but Builds are also working on an A330. We've seen that on the release or the list of aircraft that are going to be released in Flight Sim 2024. That's going to be interesting. I haven't seen it, I haven't played with it, I haven't even touched it, but you know. And you can probably argue the toss, you know, when it comes to Airbus, they're very similar inside. Jesus, they're very similar on the inside. So how many Airbuses do we need? But because there are so many different ones, I mean, the A340, the A330, the A350, everyone wants an A350. And even the Beluga, I think, the mad-looking devil, the whale, the Beluga XL, that's modelled on the A330. Massive airplane, do you know? So that's the story there. So that's the A330 business out of the way. Jesus. Now, over to PMDG, right? Scroll up here now, Murph. The 737 MAX has been put on hold, okay? But a big project has been teased and post-Flight Sim 2024 plans coming out of the PMDG camp, right? After a relatively longer silence than usual, PMDG have finally outlined its approach to the upcoming Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. As usual, Robert Randazzo's latest update is packed with a detailed information covering everything from the current project status to plans for transitioning the product lineup to the new platform. There are some rather interesting tidbits here, for imminent release to disappointing news, and a potential big tease for a major new project from PMDG. What Vasco has done for our readers, we rounded up the main points taken all from the lengthy update. So, the PMDG 777 Freighter has entered beta. We're expecting that to release this month. Good news. If you want a freighter in a 777, we should have this now in October, which is great news. With the release of Flight Sim 2024 on the horizon, PMDG are planning a clear shift in priorities to adapt their existing product lineup to the new sim. Randazzo provided insights into the team's anticipated workflow once they gain access to the SDK, though he cautions that their plan may evolve as they learn more about the platform's requirement. Here's what to expect. So, they'll prioritise getting their existing fleet functioning properly in Flight Sim 2024. They're going to make the necessary updates as soon as possible, but the extent of the changes needed remains unclear until they get their hands on the SDK. And third-party developers are not due to get that, I think, is it the 21st? I think it's the 21st, right? So yeah, they've got another week and a bit, right? Distribution methods for these updates are not yet determined. They plan to adapt a base on how 2024 distribution mechanisms will differ. So I think they'll figure that out. Art says it is the 21st. It's 21st. Evaluating new features. So they intend to evaluate how the new features in Flight Sim 2024, such as walkarounds and career mode, can be integrated into their products. The assessment will take place after the initial updates to ensure functionality. Now, look it. Having walk-around modes and stuff like that in aircraft, it's great. It is great. It's an awesome feature to have in. But like, I think a lot of the airliner guys, it's not going to be a huge head-scratching moment for them. It isn't, right? I mean, you can still use the drone cam. If they're going to model in visible issues, wear and tear, that kind of stuff, yeah, it's going to get interesting. Do you know what I mean? The primary goal is to get the existing aircraft working in the sim. Now, according to Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, Jorg and Seb and all the team around them, they are saying that, you know, the aircraft that are in the marketplace, which includes PMDG, they should work just fine imported into Flight Sim 2024. However, they will work as they do now in 2020 inside 2024, but they won't work on the new 2024 systems. As in, none of that stuff will work. So it'll work as it does now. That's the backwards compatibility. That's what they're talking about, right? And any other physics or whatever that'll be aimed to it, it won't impact on default or on legacy 2020 aircraft, right? So with Flight Sim 2024, the physics engine, it huge physics. There's 4 different types of physics being planned into the new 2024 flight model. And I've experienced it, and I have to say, like, it's incredible. It's at least what I tried. It's incredible because the aircraft, default aircraft feel incredibly better because, well, there's proper things like turbulence, wake turbulence. You've all this jazz. The friggin' drafts and thermals are doing better stuff. It's very interesting. You've prop physics, the ground physics in particular. Aircraft feel heavier, a lot harder to turn. Tail draggers, there's a little bit more sway in them. That's what I've experienced. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, if you were to sit here and say, are there any flaws with the flight model on the current PMDG fleet? Well, I think we'd be under pressure to say, yeah, it's not doing this right or it's not doing that right. I think what they've managed to do, what PMDG have managed to do, along with Phoenix and Just Flight and all these guys making the airliners, they fairly nailed the flight model because, well, the aircraft feel heavy. Do you know what I mean? Like, especially that 777, man, that's a huge machine. It feels heavy, so they kind of did well with that. So I think it's going to be just fine in 2020. I hope. Do you know? One aircraft in particular that I think could be probably the most difficult to get to a 2024 standard is their DC-6, because you've ambient temperature and all this jazz hitting those engines. But anyway, the tentative schedule for the 200 LR and the ER, the project, it's projected to release before the year's end, aiming to launch concurrently for both Flight Sim 2020 and 2024. So that's the 777-200 long range, and then the 777-200 extended range will follow, but the timeline influenced by the workflow probably go into next year. Fair enough. Now, this is news. They teased a detail in a gauge from an undisclosed upcoming project. And it's amazing when one simple picture like this is shown to the world, everyone seems to know exactly what the aircraft is. I love that, right? It is a whatever it is, right? Anyway, the 737 MAX is on hold for Enterprise project. Okay, so they have deprioritized the 737 MAX due to the involvement in an enterprise level project with a major commercial aircraft manufacturer. Well, is it? I mean, sure, but like, you know, is it? PMDG will return to the MAX once the Enterprise project is completed. Randazzo hinted at that the success of this project could play a big X factor in the future of PMDG undertaking after the 747 is completed. So they're doing a commercial project. They're going to park the MAX, and they reckon all their aircraft are going to be like super duper after this thing is done. Any ideas? Work on the 747 has been ongoing since January. It's making good progress. There's no projected release date yet. The 747 development will be impacted on how smoothly PMDG transition to Flight Sim 2024. So this is all relatively good news. PMDG they're busy, right? Whatever this enterprise project is, it might enable them to have even higher fidelity when it comes to their aircraft. They're definitely going to be looking at what's happening in the Boeing space of aircraft, especially with iFly. I mean, I'd say they're looking at going, Jesus, do you know what I mean? PMDG now have competition when it comes to these Boeing aircraft. And that's a good thing for us because, well, PMDG will look at this and say, yeah, that's pretty good. And iFly, of course, had the last 4 years to look at what PMDG did and said, yeah, we like that. We ultimately win. So it's good news. But it's exciting that PMDG have so many projects. You know, they've a lot of stuff going on here. And, you know, this gauge here, who knows what it is? Who knows what they're working on? I remember Robert said they were going to be working on a brand new project, something they haven't made before. So that could be interesting, you know. Now, in other news, and I haven't got a message yet, FlyingIron Simulations have announced the Focke-Wulf 190 release date with a new trailer. So I was hoping to showcase this machine off tonight, but the build I have isn't new enough. This is due to release tomorrow, lads. Tomorrow, right? And well, there's a video here, but there's music, so I'm going to play my own music. How's that? I'm going to have a look at this, right? Because this now, lads, Jesus, this is absolutely well, it's Flying Iron. They, you know, when they make warbirds and all this stuff, they don't need an introduction. They are absolutely incredible. Do you know what I mean? What does this one do? Yeah, that works. That's the wrong button. Let's do one of these.
Hello there. Hello there.
Now, when I first saw that trailer, and I think old veteran said the same, we both kind of said, was that DCS? Do you know? Because it looks absolutely incredible. Now, if you don't know this aircraft, and again, a big shout out to Mr. Scoo, because he gave me an 8-page document. He wrote an article all about this aircraft many years ago. Tons of information in it. To kind of sum up what the fucking Wolf 190 was, in particular the A8, think of this, right? The Messerschmitt 109. That's the gymnast, right? You know, wearing the, you know what I mean? Doing all the stuff. This thing is the friggin' pro wrestler. Do you know, the big, right? That's the scale and size difference and capabilities of the aircraft. It was designed to pack a punch and take a terrible beating. That's what the aircraft was designed to do, to fly very low and at medium as well, medium altitudes. Didn't perform very well up high. And by the time they managed to fix that, well, sure, game over, the ball was burst. But anyway, this is due to release tomorrow, lads. If Alex or any of the boys come back to me, I'll happily showcase off. The one I have is an older beta, and their most recent release candidate, they've all new sounds. The sounds were absolutely savage before they even changed them. They've now changed them again. So I don't want to show you something that it only looks all right. It looks excellent. And you know the quality you're going to get from Flying Iron. One of the very first warbird I got to fly was their Spitfire, the Mark 9, which is still one of my favourite aircraft in the sim today. It's incredible, and that thing in VR, man alive, what an experience. So let's see what happens as we get through the stream today, but that's kind of where we're at, right? But anyway, due to release tomorrow, keep your eye on it everywhere. Flying Iron Simulations, they don't need any introduction whatsoever. They're incredible at making aircraft. They just are. So let's see what happens there. Now, in other news, Echo19. These made some incredible sounds. Well, they've announced that they've announced a custom audio pack for the F-18 Super Hornet in the sim. Brand new sounds, lads, right? So Echo19 Audio has announced its first standalone audio add-on for Microsoft Flight Sim, the F-18. Set for release on the 11th of October, the sound upgrade aims to overhaul the F-18 with a unique audio experience. Do I have a sample of it here? I do. It might be the first standalone add-on under its own name, but the developer has a long and storied history of crafting soundscapes inside DCS and, of course, in Microsoft Flight Sim. They did the F-35, most recent one, the B-2 Spirit, and Shrike's F-86 Sabre, right? So we'll have a listen here. There's probably sounds here we'll get in trouble, but sure, listen. Sounds here now. Have a listen to this, right? Mind your ears now. isn't that absolutely something else, isn't it? Absolutely something else. And I think they're releasing that through Orbex, so I'll hopefully get to show you that soon as well. The Sky Lounge, Edson, good to see you, man. He suggested the branding for this amazing pack. Oh, nice. Yeah, it looks incredible. Kurt says they used their aircraft to record it.
Jesus.
Nice. Yeah, it's pretty good. Lunarscape, the 30-second ad interrupted. Oh, Jesus. Lunarscape, if you subscribe, you don't get ads. Or sometimes they do, I don't know. Engine sounds recorded directly from real Super Hornets, new APU sounds, authentic cockpit sounds, Betty callouts and alerts. Ah, good girl, Betty. Dynamic throttle transition, air turbulence effect, flyby effect, and even multiplayer compatible. This is going to be pretty cool, right? Freeware add-on compatibility designed to work with the popular F-18 F and G freeware models, and it's also going to come with 2 new liveries. Pretty cool. Ah, Cold Nebo, you legend. This is mad, isn't it? So, fair play to Echo19. This sounds beautiful. So we kind of have 3 main audio guys now, don't we? We've Boris, we've Echo19, and of course we've FT Sim, which is great. It's like, for flight simmers, we can't explain this any kind of stronger. The sounds are one of the most important things. As flight simmers, we need the best possible sounds. You need to feel the thing. Do you know what I mean? Because we don't have the forces, unless, of course, you go bananas and you force feedback and motion rigs. But the sounds are so important to us. They're the difference of, I'm in a simulator or I felt like I was flying the machine. You know what I'm saying? So kind of that's where it's at. But yeah, anyway, that's going to be released soon. I think this month. And I'll hopefully get to show it off very, very soon. Very, very soon. Now, while I'm here as well, good man Edson, where's this button here now? I need to tell you a little story, right? So we know about Rex Atmos, yeah? Wait, now, can I probably bring this up? Need to tell you a little story here about Rex Atmos and just, get a bit of feedback from you, right? Edson gave me a shout the other day and actually rambled onto the channel and we had a good old chat. The story with Rex Atmos, if you create your own profile, right, you can change the weather, you can change the lighting, you do all the stuff in Rex Atmos. It's a nice little program. It is a nice program. However, if you create a profile and you then, you can share your profile within the Rex thing, right? You can click on the gadget, show me the public profiles, and you can download it from someone else. There is a little bit of an issue because you can actually see the name of the person who made it. Now you might say, Murph, what are you talking about? That's grandeur. Well, it is and it isn't, right? It's using the details that you put into the registration of your profile to Rex. So for example, if you put in your email address, your private personal email address, they're going to use that data to show the world. If you put in your legal name, I don't mind. My name is Robin Murphy. So is my wife isn't. So is my wife. My name is Robin Murphy. So you'll see the name Robin Murphy. Well, that's me. Sure, I'm here. Like you know what the crack is, right? But that shouldn't be the case. At least without kind of telling folks. By the way, do you agree to this? Right? So we've GDPR over here in Europe. I don't know what the Americans have, but we're mad on that kind of stuff, and they're very protective about it. We even need GDPR on our friggin' website. They're stealing our thoughts. All this kind of jazz. I think this is a little bit kind of, lads, should you be doing that? Do you know what I mean? Odd, very odd. And I know it was chased up on saying, lads, you might have an issue here. Friendly, you might have an issue here. And they were like, yeah, not really. No, they do have an issue. It's an issue, right? So it means if you're going to go and use one of the presets, you can see the full legal name or the email address, like a private email address. That's like privileged data. It just is. It's privileged data. And you might say, is this a big to-do? Do we really care? I don't know. But like, you'd want to be very careful. At least, I won't say we're all kind of naive and thinking when we grab software, we just throw it onto our PC and everything's all grand. This kind of proves that you need to kind of watch what what we're doing. If we download a bit of software, throw it in there, put in all my details, what's my bank account number backwards, and that kind of stuff. So we need to be careful. If you browse through the community right now, you will find personal email addresses that no one was asked if they wanted to share. Yeah, it's nuts that they're just, here's an email address. So whatever your man's name, yonder MacNicholson at gmail.com. Nice work, I saw you did that. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's weird. It's weird. Edson's as well, Jesus. It is strange, lads. And I think the only way we can fix this, right? GDPR enter the chat. I think the only way we can fix this is nice, because Rex they're making stuff for us to enjoy, right? Let's not get sidetracked here. But as a community, I think we need to take a little bit of action here. So if you guys have Rex products, maybe drop them a little email and say, lads, no thanks. Or at least give us some sort of a warning. Or can I change the name that will be displayed publicly? That's all they need to do. 20 seconds drinking a cup of coffee, you know, on the phone while scratching their head and rubbing their belly. They'll get this sorted in that time frame. So I think if you drop them an email, if you're a customer, on the support or even on their Discord, we're not there to spam them, but let them know, lads, you shouldn't be really doing that. Like, I'm Irish, so we don't really care. I mean, we don't care. But I know other countries take this thing super seriously. And, you know, fair play to Edson's for saying, Jesus, did you see this? And I said, no. Better talk about it, and we did, and hence we're talking about it now. So it is strange. Without warning, you share a preset and bam, your info is out there for anyone to see. So it's a thing, you know, it's a thing. Yeah, in the US people freak out. Don't have to worry about stalkers, too old, fat and ugly. Well armed, living in Texas. Yeah, Scott, you tick all the boxes. But yeah, listen, it's if it's something that you guys can do, it's just community action. Drop them a little message, just nice and friendly, lads. Look, this isn't cool. I remember that happening on the PMDG forums too. My username was showing as my email. Not comfortable about stuff like that, and that's the thing, right? Because you don't know who else has access to it. And next thing you know, you're getting friggin' emails, you know, from like mad stuff. For content creators, the worry is greater. Many function under aliases for family safety. 100%, right? I think, you know, community action here, lads. And if we can just shout back to say, lads, do you know? Yes, so friend, right? Absolutely. But Edson, fair play to you for spotting this. And it was like Edson, who like they create their own products, they make add-ons, and they're looking at this going, what? You can't do that. And then when they kind of bring it to their attention, hey, you shouldn't be doing this. Yeah, it's fine. It's not fine, do you know? So yeah, do drop a little gadget to them and say, hey, we need to fix this, lads. We need to fix this. Because it's that crack just shouldn't be going on. Do you know?
Hello.
Echo19 is here. Is that the Echo19? Tell us now, or forever hold your peace. Good to see you though. Yeah, it's the VATSIM does too, which I don't use it very often. But VATSIM, yeah. But VATSIM, I think, gives you the choice to either use your VATSIM number or your name. Do you know what I mean? I'm late to the party. That is Echo19. We were just listening to your handy work there. Jesus. Do you know? Lads, Echo19 is in the chat. A couple of pints of Guinness there into the chat there now to say well done. I was chatting to Orbex, so hopefully I get to showcase the sounds off. I'm probably deafening everyone, including myself, very, very soon. So awesome news. Awesome. The jet noise. Will we get the jet noise back again? Where did I have it? Reopen, close tab. We'll play it again. Oh, Jesus. Reopen another closed tab. There it is. We'll play it again. We have to play it again. Okay, I can't play that bit. We'll play this bit. Yeah, we'll play this a bit again. Shh. Have a listen now. If you missed it the first time, Lunarscape.
Jesus.
I mean, to be fair, right? These are the sort of sounds that physically change your appearance. Just by listening to them, you physically change. You know? These are cutting me nose something fierce. I was looking for my aviators and I couldn't find them, so I found them instead. Amazing though, isn't it? Echo19, incredible work, man. Jesus, incredible work. Right, where was I? I was over here, look. Yes. Right, moving on, lads, moving on. Phoenix Simulations, they've updated the A32 family to 2.20403. And what we have here, Amir jumped on to say on the company's Discord server with a changelog. The update is available through the Phoenix installer. Full changelog below. It's a whole load of fixes and optimizations on the A320 family. Optimized the internal scheduling, added AOC free text, added a new source of GPS, right? Improved inertial weight and balance, or internal weight and balance, fixed the star not being reloaded, fixed closest airports not showing. It's a whole load of fixes. And they fixed the art and sound as well, and improved cargo distribution. Additionally, there's a section within the changelog detailing improvements that have been made as part of a wider rework of the FADEC system. So if you have the Phoenix, well, do be sure to grab an OWL update because, well, it's good to go. So Phoenix also flat out on the updates and stuff, which is great. Now, Pilot Experience Sim have released, is it BRSIM version 2. I thought this looked absolutely insane. Video, it's true AnyBiz that they're releasing this. So it's the BRSIM Paz Basque Airport, Lima Fox Bravo Zulu. The new version 2 has been redeveloped to bring the scenery up to a much higher standard, taking full advantage of the latest capabilities of Microsoft Flight Sim. The update is free of charge for current Pilot Experience Sim BRSIM airport owners, and we wish to thank them for their loyalty, which is pretty cool. It's a free update. It features an up-to-date airport layout as of 2024, a redesigned terminal and surrounding building, airport hotels, new highly detailed terminal interior, redesigned control tower with 3D people, custom jetways, and custom sounds. High-definition PBR texturing throughout, updated approach lights, wig-wag lights, custom animations, road signs, billboards, street lights, the whole shebang. And that includes a GSX profile. Some of the screenshots of this thing, like, it's photo real. It's incredible what they've done here. And it's a beautiful airport to kind of fly in and out of. So it just great news. Great news. A free update, lads. That's what it's all about, isn't it? A free update. So great work here. So if you already own it, do be sure you grab it. It's a free update. If you haven't got it, well, you can pick it up through AnyBills, priced at £14.70. We're going to be flying to this airport ourselves soon. So yeah, great stuff here. I mean, as I said, some of the pictures, they are photo real. I mean, it's like, hang on, is that in the sim? Is that, do you know, it's done very, very well. So great news there. Field Air have released Seattle Tacoma Airport for Microsoft Flight Sim. Developer Field Air took to their Facebook page to announce the release of the latest American airport, and it is that of Seattle Tacoma Airport. Kilo Sierra Echo Alpha, commonly referred to as SeaTac, the primary international gateway to Seattle and the busiest airport in the Pacific Northwest. Opened in the 1940s to replace Boeing Field as Seattle's primary airport, SeaTac Airport has grown into a major hub for Alaska and Delta Airlines. Originally, the airport had 2 runways, but to accommodate increasing passenger traffic, the Port of Seattle opened a 3rd runway back in November 2008. The features of the airport include several modelling and feature improvements compared to the default scenery. All the terminal buildings feature PBR and modelled interiors, custom jetways, custom airport clutter throughout, custom night lighting, and so on and so on. You can pick up this on their website for $14.99. The developer is currently running a discount on the scenery down to $13.49, and it's that of Seattle Tacoma. It looks kind of nice. Isn't it? Like, the amount of airports in Seattle, it's frightening, isn't it? Absolutely frightening. Look at the bridge there, look. Jesus. So great stuff from Field Air. Moving on, Kiwi Flight Sim have released, wait for it, Hokitika Airport. We got the name right. Livery and scenery developer Kiwi Flight Sim have released Hokitika Airport. This is developer's first payware scenery for the sim. And an uncontrolled aerodrome located on the New Zealand South Island. The airport features 2 runways, a single passenger terminal, and 2 gates. Currently, the only airline offering passenger services is Air New Zealand on an ATR 72 to Christchurch. And for thrill seekers, precision helicopters known for their spectacular sightseeing flights over the nearby glaciers and mountains. They're also based there at this airport. So we'll have a quick look here at the trailer. Anything in New Zealand is going to be good, to be fair, because, I mean, the real world scenery around the place, absolutely staggering. It's beautiful. Do you know, we've flown to the default airport here. I'm almost certain there was a freeware one. We've flown here quite a number of times. So it's nice to see. Any scenery in New Zealand, I think it's always worth a look, because I mean you have what are the lads called? AU Scenes. They make incredible stuff. Their Pro line, I think it's called. So yeah, great stuff. Great stuff to see more sceneries coming down this neck of the woods, and it is kind of off the beaten track. I was at this airport in the real world. We drove past it, and I was like, "Jay, is that an airport?" It was like just out of the way. It's in the middle of nowhere. Hokitika, it's called. Pretty nice though. Precision helicopters are in there. That's pretty cool. So yeah, we can pick up this scenery right now. It's over on flightsim.to. $9.99, not bad. Number of features: custom 3D modeling, custom modeling and texturing, custom modeled and textured ground service equipment, handcrafted apron markings, working helicopter dolly pads, realistic taxiway apron lights and signage, and custom modeled and textured illuminated airport windsocks. Super duper. Now, in other news, a new rendition of one of Europe's toughest approaches is coming soon. New Madeira Airport. A new Madeira airport, the developer called Atelic, has surfaced on various channels to announce that they are soon to release Madeira Airport Lima Papa Mike Alpha for the sim. The team shared the news on social media, along with screenshots and a feature list giving us an idea of what to expect. The airport, known for the highly challenging approach and landing due to various obstacles and weather components as pilots approach the runway. The cliff edges generate turbulent conditions, while the approach itself has you making sharp turns right up until the last moment. I've flown in here a couple of times. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So we can see from a number of these screenshots here, look at the state of that. That's all underneath part of the runway. Isn't that mad? Engineering, like, look at that. That's incredible, isn't it? Nuts, lads. Nuts. But it looks to be fairly well polished. There's your man, you know, the golfer. Cristiano Ronaldo. It's actually known as Cristiano Ronaldo Airport, isn't it? But yeah, it looks very nice. It's a stunning airport to fly into. Predominantly for airliners, but even GA, you'll get a bit of a challenge coming in here. Do you know what I mean? And this is a flight we need to do. You're over the pond for quite a while, but when you get there, man alive, what a challenge, right? What a challenge. So no release date from what I can see. But it's coming soon, lads. A new Madeira airport, so definitely want to check out. So Parallel 42, speak of the devils, they've released Widow's Peak for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Parallel 42 continues to release smaller scene products for the sim, which should satisfy those craving a more scenic bush adventure. Widow's Peak is the latest installment in the series and products, and it'll take you to Lincoln County. Widow's Peak, it's a small area of land near Mount Wagner, with challenging approaches, scenic views, and where the winds can change at any given moment. As with other Parallel 42 scene products, it's packed full of smaller details and Easter eggs to go and find out in the product. Expect custom models, sounds, and highly detailed texture sets throughout, along with places to give yourself a challenge. They've modelled grass strips right off the cliff edge, a helipad, and also some nearby hiking trails. There's a bit of a video here. We can pick this up for £10 over on Parallel 42's own store, and we'll have a quick look here. Can't play the music because, you know, that's just the way it works. But we'll play a bit of we'll play of our own here. Let's have a look, will we? Widow's Peak by Parallel 42, available right now for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Did you see the state of that trailer? Did you see the floozy in the jacuzzi, lads? Ah, come on out of that. Was it only me who saw that? Hang on, look. I didn't imagine it, did I? Come back to me here now, trailer. Where are you? We're close to it, I'd say. Oh yeah, look! Jesus! Right! Brilliant. This looks incredibly good. It's a small area near... a small area of land near Mount Wagner. And challenging approaches, scenic views, where the winds can change at any given moment, as we said. So that looks absolutely incredible.
Oh, jeez.
Super Typhon, 100%. It was like something out of 2024. Isn't it amazing? Why not the original music? We pay great money to use great music. Yeah, but then they get like YouTube giving out to me. Yeah, you're using music you don't own. 10 lashes. Oh, Jesus. Right? Do you know? Yeah, this looks incredible, lads, doesn't it? Even put in a camera, look. News fan, thank you very much indeed. That's incredible, man. That's awesome. We have to go there. Immediately, we must go there. So, great release from Parallel 42. And on top of that, Parallel 42 also with the new immersion pack for the 737. And I saw pictures of that the other day. Or was Chewie showing it off? Nuts. Absolutely nuts, lads. Right, moving on. Orbex releasing landmarks for the Gold Coast. We kind of give the shout out a couple of weeks back. Orbex tend to not kind of dilly-dabble. Once they say they're doing something, it tends to be released, usually within a week or two. They've added 42 custom buildings to the Gold Coast. And, well, you can see some of the pictures here. It looks very, very nice. Again, you know, their landmarks, some of them are incredible. Absolutely incredible. The ones they did for Dublin are very good, but did they update those now to fix to... did they update those to fix with the new... whatchamacallit? Photogrammetry? I don't think so. But Orbex have done quite a lot of stuff. The landmark stuff in particular, it just brings these cities to life. Sam Cene are doing a lot of great work here as well. So there is definitely competition when it comes to landmarks and buildings. The advantages to using these sort of products, it just means the LOD is quite different. So when you're looking at, you know, when you're approaching a scenery from far away and there's photogrammetry, well, you're getting all this mad pyramid, pointy, triangle stuff. It looks messy. This sort of stuff is different because it'll actually load into buildings, plus you get very effective night lighting. So it can really enhance what you're flying into. So it's available now through Orbex. You can pick it up for 22 Australian dollars. That's probably about €15, give or take. And yeah, those who like flying in Australia and the Gold Coast, well, the landmarks are now up and running. Great news. Now, we're nearly there. I'm very late tonight. Microsoft Flight Sim have announced the technical alpha, which will be making its way in late October. You can sign up for it. There's links there. Just go onto the Flight Sim forums. The technical alpha, unlike a traditional public beta, it's targeted at testing the infrastructure and service elements of the sim. Participants will be able to explore some of the core features, but the content will be restricted. Just be aware of that. They tend to put your username, they plaster it all over the screen, so you can't be sharing stuff. Otherwise, they know who you are, and then poof, good luck to you. But yeah, there are limited spots. You have to download the DX dialog, so that'll give you a full rundown of what your hardware can and can't do. Microsoft get all this information, and usually they pick it randomly. So usually, well, I can tell you what happened in 2020. They took on the higher spec folks first, those who have very powerful PC. Then they brought in the middle, and then they brought in the lowest specs. So everyone of all specs gets a little bit of game time, hands-on, to see what the thing can actually do. So it's pretty cool. Wombat, good to see you. You saved yourself a fortune. SayIntentions, they will be joining us here now very shortly. They've announced Entourage. What? I need to sneeze now in a second, lads. I think I'm okay. AI-powered assistance at a one-time purchase option. Oh, this is new, right? So I'm not going to delve into this too much because Brian is going to be joining us shortly after I showcase a little airplane. So Brian will talk us all about it. But anyone who likes SayIntentions, if you weren't entirely happy with the pay monthly, they've another option coming at you. Another option. And it can do a lot of stuff. So we'll have Brian on here shortly to give us a bit of a showcase of it, right? Now, in other news, Dublin. Look, I'm not in Dublin, but it's all right. Winwing, they have started their pre-orders for the new EFIS system for the Airbus, and you can pick it up as a pack or individually. They have pre-sale available with expected delivery in about 45 to 55 days. They're priced at around €85, give or take, or you can get them. There's no discount if you buy two of them. I don't actually know if you'd want two of them. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're the same. You know, there's nothing different. It just depends on, well, your own kind of, you know. And they're going to add on another glare shield thingy eventually as well. So, Winwing are really kind of putting the name out there. They only started back in 2023, seemingly. Does that make sense? I read up on their About Us section. Do you know? Energizer, yeah, that's where he spent all his money. The FCU unit, that's what I have, right? And I have to say, I'm well impressed with that unit. It will forever live on my desk. And, you know, you can actually make the thing work with other programs using an add-on bit of software called MobiFlight. Very, very good. So if you're into your hardware, these lads are making some beautiful stuff. Or if you're not a bus pilot and you want to wait, well, the Boeing stuff they're working on as well. They mentioned they were going to do all the Boeing stuff at Flight Sim Expo, and they had the Boeing main control panel and all the jazz, including a little FMS. Looks incredible. The parent company makes commercial sims, so it's kind of a side gig for them. Ah, right, okay. I do believe, but yeah, the expedite button, you can kind of code that to whatever you want. In actual fact, you can code any of these buttons to whatever you like. But it works out of the box with the A320s. I have it. It's flawless. It's never let me down. It just works, and it's priced very competitively. Considering the other FCU unit that was available was €400 or €500, this one is about 100. How does the size compare to the Logitech panels? It's roughly the same height, a little bit shorter. This one, a little bit shorter, but not much. It's roughly the same. You know. It's always pilot error, absolutely. Right, moving on. VATSIM events this weekend. One here tickles me fancy. Ibiza closing parties happening on Saturday between 1500 and 1900 Zulu. They're going to be flying out of Ibiza. Wave to Catpat while we're down there. And join the virtual skies and let's bring the summer to a close in style. So you'll have to wear shorts and flip-flops flying this one, lads. There's going to be VATSIM coverage provided by VATSIM Spain for this event. And they're expecting full ATC coverage. So maybe fly from Ireland or, you know what I mean, do an old, let's bring everyone back. Because summer is over. Oh, jeez. It's terrible sad. Now, in our last bit of news before we actually get into what we're showing off tonight, shameless plug here on our website. And look, Gibbo dialed in a very fancy countdown to Flight Sim 2024. Look, 40 days, 19 hours, 22 minutes and 22 seconds. Ah, Jesus. But the reason why we're going over here, lads, our beloved Firefly Air, right? Well, we are just about to hit. That's the wrong button completely. We're just about to hit our target for our XP. We're very, very close. Our target is 3 million, and we're at 2.9. So that means we're going to be opening a new hub very, very soon. And how we choose what hub, we'll pick like a geographical area, but then we'll give you guys the choice of which ones to vote for. How it works, the top 3 pilots in each of the leagues are invited to vote on our next hub opening. And each hub would include a number of company routes, missions, all the jazz. Plenty of stuff to keep us busy. So great news coming there very soon as well. Right, now, Jesus, that didn't take long at all. Welcome to Microsoft Flight Sim. They didn't wake up yet. Right, what am I to do here? This machine, lads, this machine. I needed to show you this. Because, friends, this is from BRSIM Design, and it is that of a Grumman, a 5B Tiger, the AA-5B Tiger, right? That's what this machine is. It's an American all-metal 4-seat light aircraft, first produced in 1974, used for touring and training. The Tiger was the outcome of the same design work on the AA-5 Traveller that resulted in the 150 brake horsepower Cheetah. Originally little more than the same aircraft with a Lycoming 360 A4K. That was the 180 horsepower engine, resulting in the 139 knot cruise speed. The gross weight was increased from 2,200 pounds to 2,400 pounds on the Tiger, and the highly successful Tiger design went out of production in 1979 after some 1,323 aircraft were delivered. This add-on is available over on Sim Market, priced at around €17 plus taxes. It's about $20. 8 liveries, custom sounds, custom flight dynamics. You can open the door, free caster nose wheel, high detail 3D model, PBR, volumetric lights, dynamic registration, 3 panel colours. We'll show you that now in a second. You have GTN options along with the GNS. Number of fancy instruments. Let me see. HSI VOR, CDI VOR, automatic direction finder, magnetic compass. It has an M803 clock, Navcom, KMA28 audio panel, and safety elements including the static elements outside. Right. So let's have a look at the airplane briefly, and then we'll have Brian joining us then in a little bit. Right. In a little bit. Now, meanwhile, Murph, you need to check your PMs or DMs. Where's this now? Brilliant. Kieran, got that. Thanks very much. Now, did I just see a message coming in? 1 second now. Standby, caller. Okay, we might have the fucker up to show off. We might. Fingers crossed. Anyway, let's look at this machine, shall we? So yes, a nice small little general aviation airplane. Isn't it pretty? It's very pretty, right? So BRSIM Designs, they've made some beautiful aircraft in the day. The V-tail Bonanza was something special. It had a different name though. Jesus, welcome in, man. So looking at the exterior of the aircraft, the modelling here is done very well. I mean, look at that. Look at the shape of the thing. We have our, intake covers removed before flight. We have the wheel pants, or the fairings. Isn't it gorgeous? Beautiful little plane, this. And well, let's see, look at the detail underneath, look. So we have nice texture work, there is wear and tear. And as I said, the modelling here looks really, really nice. I haven't flown this yet, lads. It levitates, well, one wheel levitates. I just love little GA aircraft. Each of them offering something a little bit different, you know what I mean? But yeah, certainly the texture work and the modelling here is nice, isn't it? This is very, very nice. And I love the way the canopy just slides back as well. It's very similar to, do you remember the old, the rally aircraft? Do you remember the rally aircraft? The old, right? Very similar to that. These used to fly in Western the whole time. Some of the details back here, again, very clear, look. So we have our baggage compartment, and then we'll move into the cockpit here now in a moment. But it looks very nice from the exterior. And it comes with a number of liveries as well, which is nice. You have the static elements, your tie-downs, look. Basic, but they work. Remove before flight, basic, but they work. And yeah, even the detail on the lights. Jesus, that's pretty, isn't it? Very pretty. It's great when it isn't raining. I would agree. I would agree. Right, let's jump in and see what the thing is actually all about, right? So, welcome to the cockpit. And I'm going to explore this now as you're looking at it as well. So the canopy is open. These work. Very nice. The texture work in here is spot on, isn't it? Look at that, lads. That's beautiful. Very clear instruments. Very clear. KFC 150. Nice. ADF is there as well. Caution, flashing beacon in clouds may cause visual disorientation. Turn off your strobes in the cloud. Very good. I've dropped in my GPS or my GTN unit. We'll change it back. Avoid continuous operation between 1850 and 2200 RPM while descending. Okay. What do we have here? Yoke. Lights. Some circuit breakers are working. That's nice, right? What else do we have here? Vents. And we have nice sounds. You can show or hide the tablet. We'll get into the tablet here now in a second. What do we have down here now? Rudder pedals. What sounds actually? Do you hear the sounds? Throttle mixture, we have a little primer, fuel, an ashtray because that's how they flew back then. Comfy looking seats, and a ton of information over here, look. The airplane must be operated at normal or utility category, normal category, utility category, and so on, so on. So plenty of details here. And in terms of the space and the layout, nice textures in here. Into the back we go, into the Annalisa seat. So there's our baggage behind us. And if we were sitting here, yeah, there's nice, look at the textures. Jesus, that's nice, isn't it? Very nice. So you've great visibility in this. I mean, as you can see. Close that up, right? 62 lightning strikes per hour, Mr. Scoo says. Jesus. Look at the view. Look at, like, you have incredible views. Incredible views. Okay. What about the tablet? Well, turn it on. We have some options. So occupants, we can load in some peoples. And you see the aircraft, you know, it gets heavier or lighter. Baggage weight, increase or decrease. Close the baggage door. Fuel, we can increase or decrease just from a button here. Our ground safety, pitot cover, engine tie down, and wheel chocks. We can remove all of those. Our GPS option, I have the 750 loaded, but we can go with the GNS 530. It's an instant change. Then we have some other stuff here, look. The panel colour. We can change this. This is a great idea when it comes to aircraft. It just gives us the feeling of, you know, it's custom, it's me own. So we go with beige. The beiges. We can go with blue, or we can go with black. This will come in black. I like that feature. That is a lovely feature because, well, you can kind of make the airplane fit. Do you know what I mean? Other bits and bobs we have here, you know, the sunshades, the prop cone, all right? So, you see that there now? Let's go for the metallic one. Ooh. I like that. Gear fairings. So there are wheel pans. We can disappear those if we like. Oh, yeah, now you're talking. Now she's designed for the bush. Instrument vibration, panel vibration. All right. And then what do we have down here? All our checklists, look. So it's a very simple yet effective EFB, right? And we can disappear that down there when we're finished with it. So let's see, can we get the aircraft into action, right? So remove before flight has been removed. Do we have a little storm window even? No. All right, okay. Autopilot and push to talk. Sweet. Right, let's have a look. How does one fly this machine? Battery. We'll go with that. Alternator turned on while we're waiting. Nav lights. Beacon. We have internal lights here as well. Mixture set to rich. We have a primer. Fuel will go to the right tank. Mixture's rich.
Hello there.
Do we have a fuel pump? There's our fuel pump. And we're looking at fuel pressure over here. It's not responding to our throttle. Primer. Don't know what the temperature is outside yet, but sure, we'll give it a couple of blasts, right? Thank you very much indeed for the follow. Bo, welcome in. Parking brake is already set. Throttle, we'll crack it a little bit. We do have a carb heat, that's nice. Okay, close that. Starter, strobe light, that's all grand. Starter here, so mags, right, left, and both. And yeah, I think we're good, lads. We shall say clear prop and see what happens. Clear prop! Look at the animation of that. Okay, we got a good start. Oh, nice sounds. Right, pull the mixture a little bit. We set our barrel. We set our direction indicator. Now, do we have any switches for nav or GPS? So they're already on, so that's okay. ADF is doing its thing. Autopilot. That works. Park and brake, cabin heat, the lighting. There's your carb temperature. Look at the way the needles are moving. See the vibrations. Oh, I really like that. And the sounds are great. Flaps. They're on a motor. What does prime do to the engine? It primes it. It kind of shoots in a bit of fuel pressure into the gadget. Right, let's have a closer listen to these sounds, lads. Mind your ears. They're very good, aren't they? This is why no one in aviation can hear anymore. What'd you say? What'd you say? Jesus, this is very good. Right, okay, night lighting, quick test before we get going. It's basic, but it's pretty, isn't it? Now, there is a little switch over here, look. Oh yeah, that's nice. Look at that, lads. Yeah. It's basic, but it's very nice. What about our exterior lights? So, landing light, strobe light. Pitot heat will turn it on for the crack. Nav lights are already on. Powerful lighting. What do you think? It's pretty. Right, time of day. Back to where we were. Right, let's take it out for the very, very short hop just to see kind of how the whole thing works, will we? So, off the brakes. Bit of power. Come on, Betsy. So it has a free castering nose wheel. This should be a bit of crack. Bit of differential braking required. Time to take it to Windows Peak. Absolutely, absolutely. Right, spin over this way now. We get out to the active. Right, let's go this way. Great details on the wing as well, isn't there? I love the sun visors, man. They're class. The sounds in this thing, all the rattles. Stuart Duggan says, "How are you, Murph? Stuart here, watching from Johnstown, Kilkenny. Thank you very much indeed. Keep up the amazing work." Thank you very, very much indeed, Stuart Duggan. Hello from up the road in Tipperary. You're not far. Love the landing lights, LEDs rule. Skipper Jeff, they rule. Right. We've got one notch of flap. Ramble down the runway here. Do you hear those sounds? This add-on is from BRSIM Design, and it's the
Hello there.
Do you hear the braking sounds? They are excellent. This is the AA-5B Tiger. Do you hear the sounds? Jesus, they're brilliant. Right, come on up here, we'll do a run-up. Let's see if the engine is going to follow a bit of logic here, shall we? Christ, there's bears. Right, park and brake, hold. And let's bring that RPM up. Call it 1900. Mag test. There's a drop on the left. Back to both. There's a drop on the right. That works. Back to both. Carb should give us the same. They need to fix that. So usually if you put on your L carb heat, you should get a little drop in RPM as well. So that doesn't seem to work, unfortunately. Right, what can we play with here then to turn off? ADF. Yeah, that works. We can see the light. Transponder. Communication panel. Yeah, this all works. That's nice, isn't it? That's very nice. Okay, can it fly is the question. Well, let's see what happens here. Off the brakes. Power coming in.
Jesus, what is going on here?
Jesus. Okay, take off power set. I love the instruments. They're beautiful. Mr. Squarely, good to see you. Right, here's 60 knots. Yep, see Daisy. Ooh, little bit sensitive. Look at the vibrations on the glare shield. Look. Flaps in. Oh yeah, this is nice. Spin us to the left a bit. Now, if we were to test the throttle, the question was, if we horsed in the throttle, would it react? It reacts. Oh man, this is pretty. What do we think, lads? This is a nice little airplane. What's the speed? Yeah, the speed is a little bit, isn't it? Where's this place? It's gorgeous here. This is Squamish. It's from Burning Blue Design. Right, let's see what we can do here. Watch your speed coming in, right? Actually, stall characteristics, right? Let's act the complete and utter muppet. Up you devil you. Right, hold the nose. Oh, look at that. The wing straight down. Beautiful. Oh, man, that handles so well. That was beautiful. I love the vibrations on the glare shield. That's really well done.
It looks like shite. Just blurping looks good.
Who said that? Where's your love for aviation? Calling this shite. It's not shite. Right, we're trying to land this now. Jays, go handy. Okay, what's your approach? Bit of flaps. Lots of flaps. Full flaps. Let's see what happens here, right? Watch your speed. I don't think so, Stuart. I didn't see that. Could be cool, though. Easy now. Easy now. Right, so we're full flaps configuration. Hold the nose. And just let it plant. Beautiful. Beautiful. The sounds of the brakes. What do you think? This is a beautiful little GA aircraft. The price of this machine here, lads, it's under $20, or it's about $20, give or take. About 20 bucks. That's really good. And like, because it's a free cast ring nose wheel, differential braking is important. It's called Squamish Lunarscape. The ICAO code for the airport, Charlie Yankee Sierra Echo, CYSE. CYSE. Jeez, that's incredible, isn't it? Absolutely incredible. Right, let me see. Okay. BRSIM Design. What do we think? Do we like it? Very nice, isn't it? Right, lads, now we move on. It is a little cracker. It's gorgeous. Right, we're going to have Brian joining us now in a couple of moments as we have a look at the SayIntentions, a live demo, and what it's all about. What is Entourage? Great name, isn't it? Entourage. So let's see what happens here. So I'm going to load into the 737 MAX. We're going to have Brian on for chat. And then, fingers crossed, I think we're going to get the fucking wolf then in a couple of moments as well, right? Now, is this going to work, Murphy? Because you need this gadget to work. So we'll close that and then we'll open it up again. Let's hope it works.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, Jesus. Did that open now? It did. Why won't that open? Okay, well, it should work. All I'm worried about here is WASM won't work. There we go. Oh, we have some new liveries as well. Norwegian, look. Alaska, we'll go with that for the crack. And where will we go? Vancouver International. It shouldn't really matter where we go. I just need to... I've no scenery here, but it doesn't matter. We'll just pop ourselves in and have a listen, will we? Ah, no, hang on. What was it? I'm terribly Irish. We're going to Ireland. I don't necessarily want to go to Florida because, like, things are absolutely nuts there, and it's all well and good, you know, me sitting several thousand miles away, but I know people are having savage issues over there, so we'll leave them for a bit. I just heard the thing go beep bop. Did you hear that? Right, now, let's have a look. So, buttons need to be pressed. Ryan? Hello? Now, you'll have to excuse my editing skills because they're crap, right? But we'll have Brian in here now in a second, so hang on a sec. If I press some buttons, start a call, start a video call. Press the wrong button.
On camera.
You have a camera, brilliant. Now, can you hear me? You can. This is going to be the question. Can you hear me? Hello?
I do hear you.
Ah, brilliant. Right, hang on a second now. Right, how do we do this? First and foremost, I'll get me sim doing where's my mouse? Get the sim doing what the sim needs to do. And yes, we're good here. So bear with me now. We'll do one of those. Thank you. Lock that and just sit tight there for a moment. Right, grand. Now I need to press some buttons. Jeez. Let me see. Discord. That work? Yeah. Yeah. Right. Hang on there. Look at that. It works. It worked.
Hey, that's me.
It worked without me even having to press anything. That's brilliant.
Well done.
Brian from SayIntentions, you're very welcome in. It's been a while since I got to catch up with you, but your good buddy McCracken has been keeping me up to date with all the things that you guys are working on. So you're very welcome. It's great to see you.
We have been busy, and I got to tell you, I have been practicing for the last 2 hours in front of a mirror, and I just want to make sure I got this right. So tell me if this is okay. Jesus!
Jesus!
Did I get it right?
He did. In fairness, lads, right on the Jesus scale out of 10. You know, how did Brian do?
My whole life has been building to that moment right there.
Brilliant. That was actually very good.
Jesus.
That was very good.
Thank you. Yeah, I've really been working on this.
So, you guys are flat out. I mean, we're seeing weekly updates with features and just stuff that you're adding to everything that is SayIntentions. And the last time you were on, you scared the life out of me by appearing animals outside of me plane.
I remember that. Right? Yeah, that was fun.
Absolutely nuts. So, well, you're here today because you're working on something new, something brand new, and you're targeting potentially a new audience with this as well.
Yeah, this is totally different from what we've done before, where, you know, we kind of started with this initial focus on ATC, which, by the way, is still where the vast majority of our development resources go. We're still very ATC centric, but realizing that we were so good at putting sort of AI into the cockpit, our feature set rapidly expanded from there. And we've now got this really cool set of features that we realized we could offer at a one-time price instead of our sort of normal subscription model. So I'm super excited that the flight sim community can now finally, you know, those who for a variety of reasons, all of them valid, you know, don't love the subscription model, can now get in and play with so many of the cool toys we've made.
That's incredible. So you now have an option for someone who just pays a one-off, that's it, this is your fee, and you have access to this program for life. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's
awesome.
Exactly it. I'm very excited about this.
That's huge, huge. So, well, Entourage, how does it work? What are we getting for it? I mean, what's the functionality, if you like?
You know, we brought in a whole bunch of cool things, and I kind of started this off by saying, look, we want to bring in to the flight simulation world everybody except the pilot. Right, because if you think about aviation, the pilot's just like one guy, right? But around him are this huge cast of characters, if I can put it that way, I guess, that are supporting the flight. So we're bringing in our tour guides, which has been a very popular feature in our core product. We also have this concept of flight mentors. This is a guy sitting next to you who can answer any question about aviation, your airplane, procedures, comms, whatever you want to ask him. That guy's there to talk to you. Flight dispatchers, right? In the real world, those are a key part of the aviation thing. Cabin crews. We're also bringing in all of our radio chatter. So you dial in the comm radio on ground at JFK, you're going to hear ground at JFK from our core product. You can actually, you know, tune the radios and all that stuff works. And then later this year, we're going to add pushback, ground crews, FBOs, you know, all of this stuff. You'll be able to talk to the people on the radio to request these services. So again, everybody but the pilot. That's the idea.
And okay, talking to them is one thing. I mean, is it just the chatter, or is there functions that happen with that as well? I mean, you mentioned ground crew. Is there stuff that they can actually do within the sim, or is it purely you're simulating the conversations that would happen prior to and at the ending of a flight?
Yeah, good question. Is it role play or is it real? So yeah, so the idea with everything that we're doing is we want to make it interact with the simulator as much as possible. Just as an example, if you call and request pushback, you actually now have that verbal exchange with the person, you know, in the tug, right? So not only is the exchange correct, but when they say, all right, we're starting pushback, sure enough, your plane starts moving and all the things happen. When you order a catering truck, the catering truck pulls up and, you know, all that stuff. So yeah, the idea is to interact with the simulator. You order a fuel truck's going to show up.
That's awesome. So you're probably looking at, well, because I know the Asobo stuff has a fair few systems already there. I mean, they have jetways, they have their default stuff. Is there scope to expand on that, or what do you think?
to be announced.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
put it that way, in terms of the future stuff. Yeah. But really the goal is not only can you talk to, all of these different, cast of characters, but the interaction with the simulator is there. And we'll have more to announce as it relates to pushbacks and ground crews and all that stuff here in a short amount of time. That'll all be launched before the end of the year, probably well before the end of the year. We'll see how it goes.
It's awesome, right? Because, I mean, you're thinking of what to do next, right? And like, I'm asking you fairly pointed questions, and you're like, well, of course we want to do this kind of stuff, but I'm fully aware there's got to be all sorts of red tape and limitations and all this stuff. But like, a simple bugbear for me, there's no keybind that I can find that'll like remove a jetway. You need something from the third party. Or you have to use the default ATC within the sim. It's quite clunky. So, I mean, if these are the things you're looking at to say, we want to, as you say, role play or simulate, but you want to kind of simulate it first, and yeah, you'll have the role play element there, which is nuts, because even the tour guide stuff, like, it's nuts. You're flying along, and next thing, see that, yeah, that, and they start talking about it. It's so different to get that in a flight sim, especially when it comes to like GA flying. Do you know?
And look, you used the right word, which is clunky, and there's so many add-ons out there that are just that. They're clunky, and there's lots of actually very valid reasons for that. Mm-hmm. But clunky is not what we do, right? Yeah. People come into our world, they come into the immersion that we provide, and that is the last word that people use to describe our stuff. So we intend to stay true to our brand as we push these features forward.
Mm-hmm. It's awesome. And now we have, for the first time, a standalone product, a one-time purchase, and we're going to get this functionality. If you like, the differences between a subscription-based model or the one-time purchase, kind of, are there huge advantages or disadvantages to either one?
Well, there's tons of advantages to the subscription model. The biggest one, and I like to say this to people all the time, is, I have to earn that money. I have to earn that business every single month, right? Mm-hmm. That means every single month I've got to be providing something that's going to be worth it for you to pay that money again and again and again. That's a tall order. I mean, that's a really, really tall order, especially to the flight sim community. And yet we have, zillions of customers who look at what we're doing and say, yeah, it's worth it. Mm-hmm. The real reason we have to do that, though, is because there's literal cost associated every time that the transmitter gets closed, right? Both in terms of the the neural AI capabilities around the voice recognition. We have the best voice recognition of anybody in the world. I'm sure of it. As well as the multiple AI engines that come into play. We do use OpenAI, but they're not the only AI stack that we're using in there. Mm-hmm. And you combine that with, the cost of the voices and everything else. And gosh, cutting edge technology always comes at a cutting edge price, right? That's just how it is. I wish it could be different. I wish it could be better. It is what it is. That said, I think we provide a pretty darn good value for the money. Right. Mm-hmm. And that's a theme that our customers echo over and over and over again, which is, yeah, it's a subscription, but wow, look at everything we're getting for the price that's there, including, the cutting edge tech. Mm-hmm. Now, being able to offer a subset of our product at a one-time price is largely a result of the massive price drops that we've seen to some of the more basic AI models that are out there. I use the term basic. That's probably not the right word. These are still very advanced AI models, but they've really dropped in price a lot. Both the cost of voices, the cost of the standard AI models that we're using there, the cost of training those AI models, on and on and on, mm-hmm. are really allowing us to bring, again, a subset of our product to people at a price that I could not be more excited about this. This is awesome. This has been my dream since day one, is to get to this point. So
I love it. So with Entourage, I mean, effectively what the product is, I mean, is there certain elements that just won't work? For example, the ATC element. Entourage, is that more focused on, as you say, kind of the supporting cast?
Yeah, so we've pulled out the ATC because the air traffic control that we have is so advanced and it's so good that we have to use some of the more expensive neural AI models to deliver that. So that one stays inside of our subscription model. Mm-hmm. Again, I'm actually really excited that more people are going to be exposed to what we're doing, because it really is, I mean, there's nothing even close to what we've got there. It's really, really neat. Mm-hmm. But we've taken almost everything else and pulled it out and put it into the one-time subscription model, including things like our taxi arrows. We're the only company I know of in the entire world, flight sim or aviation, that has actually really good ground data, taxi data. And so, whatever runway you filed in SimBrief will light up a taxi path for you to drive. First day in aviation for you to taxi to the runway. So yeah, we've got some neat stuff that we've, been able to pull out. That's a result of, a huge amount of work that we've done. I got to tell you, even just being able to turn on the radio and listen to our core product, right? You can hear all the other pilots talking to ATC, and you can hear the AI responses. Man, the skies, they feel so alive when you turn this on. This is a game changer, because very few plugins, very few add-ons for Microsoft Flight Simulator are involved with literally every second of your flight, right? But with this one, from the moment you begin your flight until the moment you end it, Entourage is sitting there interacting with you, right? You're hearing your cabin crews, your tour guides are talking. You can ask questions anytime you want. The air traffic control is just, going over the radio at rapid fire. Man, the sim just it comes to life, and it is so fun. It's so cool.
It's gas. I was doing a flight there the other day and using the ATC functionality, and what you have now with real people, when they communicate with SayIntentions, they can opt in to having their own conversations recorded. So, there's me doing a flight in Shannon, and I'm listening to another guy, an Irish guy, and he's using the call sign of our virtual airline, and to hear that as back chatter, it's nuts. It was awesome. But yeah, this is proper exciting, because it's there is a gap there. I mean, it's an eye opener as well. I mean, it's not just as simple as, okay, well, I'm going to press this button and press that button, and then that's it. That's my pushback, or that's my clearance, or even if it's an FBO, that's my dispatcher. I mean, you're really giving an insight into, there's a lot of communication that has to happen here. I mean, we've seen it all already with the task that Copilot, hey, give me the clearance, and he'll go off and get your clearance. And then your cabin crew, and some of the characters you've made are nuts, right? We need Quagmire still, but some of the characters are nuts. But even then, with the mentor stuff, that's a huge. I mean, you can, hey, how do I do this? And they're this is how you do it. That's, even for someone starting off in this world, I mean, it's a huge advantage.
It is a huge advantage. In fact, having that mentor there is nuts, especially if you're flying an aircraft that maybe you're not super familiar with. You can actually ask it, what does this switch do? What does that switch do? Why do I need to do this? Why do I have to do this before this? Why does the checklist tell me to do it this way? You can ask it really advanced questions. It knows the answers to everything. It's the smartest person you could possibly imagine sitting in your right seat. And, you're flying on a long flight, and most of us get bored, right? We're just sitting there all right, they're just waiting for the next thing to happen. Nah, our customers are chatting away with the mentor. They've got the tour guide going. I mean, it just really, really changes the simming experience. I mean, Jesus, it's nuts.
One of the coolest things is, when it comes to cabin crew in particular, and the co-pilot, I suppose, but even your cabin crew, there are other add-ons that will kind of simulate passengers, or it'll simulate an environment when you're flying an airliner, for example. Yeah, there's passengers in the back, and they want to use the entertainment, or they want to use the lav or whatever. And that's grand. It's on a screen, and it's kind of there. But by having voices, by having that communication, and the fact that you're talking to it, you're not selecting off a numbered sheet 1 to 9, this is my answer. You're actually talking to the thing, and it knows what you're saying. It's very immersive from that regard. And it's kind of scary, because it's well, Jays, where are you going to bring it to next? What else can this thing actually do?
Well, we've joked a lot that maybe the next product we need that would be so immersive is all you do is sit there and it just does everything for you, right? It pushes all the buttons and and all you have to do is just sit there and read your book. But maybe someday we'll launch that product. It is crazy how, and by the way, you did touch on something that I want to mention, which is there's nothing to click on, right? You don't click the button that says I would like to start the pre-boarding announcement, click. No, you talk to the crew and you say, hey, can you start the pre-boarding announcement for me? And they do. Or you say, hey, can you tell the passengers to take their seats because we're hitting some rough air? And they do. And this idea of, you should not have to use the mouse to make stuff happen in your flight was born on day one in our ATC product, right? Air traffic control is not a menu. Pilots don't have a mouse in the cockpit. They're not clicking what they want. No, they're using their microphone and they're using their CPDLC system and those kinds of things. All that stuff works. And in our design philosophy from day one has been, if it needs a mouse, we messed up, right? Because that's not how it works in the real world. And I love that we've been able to take that same philosophy and extend it to the tour guides and the cabin crews and the mentors and, all these other things. It's wildly cool.
That's awesome. That is awesome. And like the future, I know, this is for PC pilots, right? How's the scope? Is there scope? Can this exist on a console? I mean, it's something I'm sure you'd love for it to happen.
Yeah, that's actually really good. A good comment. Even though it's a one-time product, it still uses our cloud compute infrastructure. More than 20 different providers come together to bring this AI stack to life. This stuff is incredibly complex. I left my day job as an AI engineer, CTO of a company that was doing lots of AI stuff for healthcare to come build this. So, we've got cutting edge stuff in this thing. Will it run on your PC in standalone mode? No, your house would melt if you attempted it. Will it be able to do it someday? Yeah, the stuff that we have now someday will run on your PC, but by then the cloud stuff will be so much better you won't want that anymore, right?
Yeah.
So unlikely at this point that we're ever able to return to a mode where the cutting edge tech can run on your local PC. Even Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is basically saying, guys, if you want the good stuff, it's got to be connected to the internet.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where we're at as well. If you want the good stuff, it's got to be online. And I'm not sure that that'll ever go away at this point.
No, if anything, it'll continue because it's the sheer amount of data, right? And it's whatever changes are made to condense the data, make it smaller, everything becomes smaller, and people say, no, we're going to add more functionality to it. So it's
exactly. Someday it'll run on your PC, but by then you won't want it to because the cool stuff will all be still not on your PC. But it's an interesting model because the hardware required to run SayIntentions would probably be $1 billion investment, right? It's so far out of reach for us or anyone else out there that we would never build this otherwise. So this new model where we can rent tiny little slices of compute and use it for microseconds to get the results that we want. I mean, look at the stuff we're doing. It's pretty wild, right? The benefit is huge.
Like even in it's gas, right? Because even in the last 12 months, I remember you were chatting about, the challenges you had when it was a sudden realization that the taxiway data was not as easily accessible. You were like, holy crap, you had to go off and do all that. And that was, I won't say it was a game stopping moment for you, but that was a considerable hurdle in the track. And within 12 months, you're kind of sitting back going, yeah, no, we got that. It was grand. Do you know, it's a great thing to see. And it's I think anything that's kind of thrown your direction, you'd be like, yeah, we can't do that. And then suddenly, actually we kind of figured it out now, which is great.
We've had hundreds of those moments throughout the last 9 months since we launched where we go, oh, there's no way we'll solve that. And then you sit back and you think about it, you go, I think we got a way. And again, part of the reason that we're able to come up with solutions to these really difficult problems is because we have access to this giant swath of resources that are out there for solving really, really difficult, complex problems. No question, we've come a long way in 9 months. In fact, if 9 months ago you had showed me where we were today, I probably wouldn't have believed you. I would have said there's no way we could make progress that fast. 5 years from now, maybe we'll have all that, but no way could we do it in 9 months. And I got to tell you, whatever the next 9 months are going to be even more insane. I mean, we're now getting some momentum. We're getting more resources. We're getting more speed. We're getting more ideas. Where the future is very bright. And I'm just excited that we're able to now offer so many of these toys in a way that everybody, they're accessible to everybody at this point.
No, it's awesome. So what we're going to do here, we're going to bring up Entourage, and it's using,
oh no,
it's using the when you say oh no, am I allowed to? No.
Oh. Do me a favor, restart that app for me. Sorry, I'll close it and just reopen it really quick.
Imagine now if this was like, no, Murph, the whole thing is under NDA. You're not allowed to show it off. Imagine if it did that.
Yeah, you're not going to
live.
actually show this. You know, none of this works, right?
That'd be just brilliant. Okay, so waiting for the sim. There we go. Connect.
And I have one more request for you, if you can do it while it waits there. Click that settings button and go change over to our experimental server. I've got the final release version of this is on our experimental branch right now, and
I'm fairly sure I'm there.
That one really quick.
Yeah, I'm there.
If you are, then great. Then we're good to go. Oh, are you?
Yeah.
I don't think you are. Oh, you are. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Good. Looks good. Sorry.
Listen, right? You're
Sorry,
you're dealing with the proper Egypt now, right? We're miles ahead.
I'm here to waste everybody's time. That's why I'm here.
Right. So it's the usual crack in terms of the app, as in, you gotta tell the app, this is my audio. This is my microphone, these are the speakers, and you have the options, of course, to get in and say, right, what are my push to talk buttons? Effectively, that's what you have. So the intercom system.
Yeah, in fact, it's the exact same app that we use for the ATC side, right? It's the same thing. If you use the ATC side, you'll use this app. If you're using Entourage, you'll use this same app. The features change just depending on what you've purchased, but it's exactly the same.
Okay, so the first thing is going to be selecting the cast. We're going to select the cast, right? So we've channel 1 and channel 2, and we can select either a tour guide or a mentor, and this is for channel 1, let's say, right? So if it's going to be a tour guide, we've Jeff, Janet, or Sarah, or if we have a mentor, we'll go with a mentor. We'll go with Uncle Harry. And then channel 2, for your cabin crew or a tour guide, it's up to you. We have a good few options here as well. So this package actually includes a lot of these characters that you've already developed and created.
That's right, and we've got about twice as many on the other side. So if you do end up switching to the subscription side, we've got roughly double this, and we're going to keep adding more, right? So what do we have in there right now? Like 6 of them. We add more of these all the time, mostly because I've got this to a point where members of our team who are not software engineers can now go in and create these, and they can curate new personalities, new characters, new ideas, new positions, all without writing any code. We have an incredible AI platform now. So yeah, you'll see some options here, but the number of options is only going to expand. That's my point.
Hmm.
This is Erica.
Erica, straight into it.
Attendant. On behalf of our virtual airline, I would like to warmly welcome you aboard our flight to your destination. As we prepare for departure, please ensure that your carry-on items are stowed securely.
So we can change kind of, how we're addressed. We can put in our own name, our own details, and it's looking at the likes of SimBrief as well, just like kind of the standard edition. So we can kind of set this up basically for our flight, right? So to do so, let's look at identity. So Firefly 235, that's grand. That's grand.
So you can put your call sign into the identity tab. And by the way, one of the cool things about this is that it is still integrated with SimBrief. So if, in your SimBrief flight plan, you've got your departure and your destination airport, you've got your airline call sign, you've got, all kinds of info, number of passengers on board, all that's in your SimBrief plan. That all gets imported, and the information in there becomes available to the AI context window. Right. Okay. So what that means is your entire entourage now knows all of those details. So, the cabin crew, when they talk about your flight, they're talking about your flight, not just a flight. Right. And they'll even, mention the weather at your destination. It's real world weather that they're mentioning. But yeah, we use SimBrief to basically feed it the full context, and then Entourage kind of runs with it.
This is nice. Right, so we'll give it a blast, right? I don't know who I'm talking to yet, so I'll just do, where's this button now? Test, 1, 2. And let's see what it says. Because I don't know what buttons I've bound, so this could be the mentor. It is!
Hey, Two-Tone, it looks like you're testing the system.
There you go.
Just a quick tip. Always double check your fuel calculations before takeoff.
Okay, so we're going to ask him what we're doing today, and he should nearly be able to tell us based on SimBrief.
Well, your SimBrief plan doesn't look like it got imported. If you look at the top there, and it may be just because it was filed too far in the past. See where it says SimBrief in gray letters? That'll actually light up in green once it pulls in a valid SimBrief plan.
Let's
if your SimBrief flight plan is too old, it may ignore it. So it may be worth doing just a quick refile or something.
Yeah, we'll do a quick run here.
Sorry, proof we didn't stage any of this, huh?
It's totally grand. Identity, general, so SimBrief, that's all correct. Let's see here now.
Yeah, if you just filed a new SimBrief plan, just hit new flight and it'll import it.
Doodle-doo-doo. Please wait.
You're good. Just let
brilliant.
it do its
I got
thing
it.
for a second here. Yeah, you're all right.
Okay, sorry. Let's ask.
There we go. SimBrief lit up. See how it's now in green? That means it's now got your SimBrief flight plan in the context window.
I love this. Right. Okay. Let's
ask your cabin crew. Ask your cabin crew where you're going.
Okay. Cabin crew. Good morning. Where are we going today? This could be interesting.
We are flying to Dublin, Captain.
We actually are. Ah, brilliant. Jesus. Cabin crew. How many passengers do we have today? I'm really putting this now to the. Will it test it?
Oh, yeah, you're good. You haven't.
We
you
have
haven't even
149
begun.
passengers on board today.
That's right. We do have 149 passengers. Cabin crew, prepare for loading the airplane. I forgot what word to say.
It's the technical term, right?
Okay, Captain. Preparing for loading the airplane.
She's very nice. She's able to deal with me, you know.
Cabin crew, please prepare
Please
for loading the
prepare for
airplane.
loading the airplane. That's so funny. Now she's making fun of you, is what she's doing.
She's taking the Dennis Hickey. That's brilliant.
She's straight up making fun of you.
I love that.
Go ahead, ask her to make the pre-boarding announcement or something.
Cabin crew, you can make the pre-boarding announcement.
Okay, Captain, I will prepare for pre-boarding announcements.
Look at the state of this.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard Fly
How wild
Firefly
is that?
Flight 235 to Dublin. This is your purser, Erica. We are pleased to have you with us today on this Boeing 737 MAX 8. Please ensure your hand luggage is stored securely in the overhead compartments or under the seat in front of you. The captain of our flight is Robin Murphy.
Jesus.
And the first officer is
It's pretty
Clay
cool, right?
Elliott.
Now you've checked. You
We will be
selected.
starting our journey shortly.
I can't actually hear it, so I don't know when it's done.
Okay. It basically
Is
it's done everything that you'd expect it to do. So your identity is based on what you feed it, right? So if I were to change any of that, if for example I wanted to be, you know, my identity, how do you change your I can tell her what. Hang on, I can figure this out. I can say
So
from
you
now
can
on,
change it.
Yeah, I can say from now on, call me, you know, Beavis. So
Yeah, well, if you want to change your call sign and you want to use SimBrief, you would change it inside of SimBrief because it's got a little ATC call sign thing. If you don't want to use SimBrief, you can set it here and it'll call you whatever you put here. It doesn't matter what you put. By the way, you selected one of the more serious cabin crews. There are some very funny ones as well. And I'm not asking you to try them all, but only point being, you know, there's a zillion options in here to keep you entertained as you fly. And if you want that, you know, pristine, you know, flight experience where everything matches the real world, you can have that, right? We do take this seriously and we do want it to be right and perfect and crisp. But then there's the other half of the flight sim community that goes, well, I'm here to be amused, right? Amuse me.
Yeah,
and we got plenty of that stuff too.
it's awesome. Like, so again, like, I mean, it's you have the ability to kind of, I can talk to the cabin crew and say, hey, you know, I want you to say this from now on, or, you know, change your flight number. Like they'll pick that up and they'll run with it.
Most of them they will. A flight number probably not, but most everything else they will. For example, just to give you an example, you can say, hey, can you bring me a coffee? And they'll say, sure, I'll bring you a coffee. And then you say, can you tell me what I just ordered? And they'll say, you just ordered coffee, you idiot. You know, so yeah, this is not like each interaction is isolated. You know, there's memory. The AI will learn throughout the flight what's going on and use that in conjunction with the passenger announcements, for example. It's really pretty wild. And then of course it all starts over at the beginning of every flight. But yes, it adapts and learns as the flight progresses.
It's nuts. Right, I'm gonna try this one. Where's this button now? I want you to call me Murph. What's the weather at our destination? Let's see what happens here. Will you call me Murph?
Hello
I
there.
can't check the weather
Yeah,
at your destination
this will be
right
funny.
now, Murph, but I can tell you.
Oh no, can't check the weather of the destination right now. All right, so Not perfect. I got a bug there because it's supposed to be able to do
Always
that.
check for
Doesn't matter. He still called me Murph. Oh, come here. Do you know what happened before? I asked for a coffee before, right?
Oh, you asked the Mentor. I will fix this. The Mentor actually does not have access to the weather engine. I'll fix that as soon as we're done here.
No,
the cabin crew probably does know.
It was the cabin crew, and I said it in a typical accent that I have. I said, "Can I get an owl coffee?" And she came back and she called it something she shouldn't have. Right? It was hilarious. But I love this because I've used this on airliner flights, right? And it is the chatter from the ATC, but it's by adding in the other bits and bobs from Mentor, or not from Mentor, to hear me, from Entourage, beg your pardon. It's adding in these elements of Entourage. I mean, the flying is almost going to become kind of, second to all of this, because you're going to have, I just want to bring up this gadget here, look. Because the thing.
Well, while you're doing that, let me mention one really, really cool thing that we're super proud of, which is this thing works with any other ATC. So if you've already got a different ATC program that you love and that you use, no problem. Start them both at the same time. Run the ATC over there, but use this to add, all of the other cast of characters around your flight so that everything else comes alive as well. So no problem at all, mixing and matching the capabilities with other plugins here.
That's what I was going to ask.
You pulled it up right there. Sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry.
When I saw this, I was like, hang on, surely this isn't the case. So let's say, for example, without naming names, you have a subscription elsewhere for the ATC element.
Hello there.
You can still use this product in conjunction with that.
Well, yeah, and in fact, not only just, other plugins, but things like VATSIM, Aveo, etc. If you want to do a VATSIM flight, but you want to add on, your airline dispatcher, your ground crew, your cabin crew, all of these other things, no problem at all. Just fire them up.
And of course, make sure you've set a different push to talk than what your transmit would be.
Yes, please. Yes.
I love that. I love that. Now, you've also mentioned here, because there is something new here, and it says buy AI credits. And I can see there's a whole load of credits over there. What's the idea behind this?
So we brought together what we think are some pretty darn good voices that, sort of fit the budget that we have for Entourage, right? We're getting really good at this. In fact, you're getting our more advanced speech recognition here. You've noticed it understands everything you say, right? I mean, it's wildly good at hearing you, and you're never going to get that sort of, I didn't understand that command, repeat it. There's none of that here. It really does feel like you're talking to it. So we've brought a lot of stuff in here, but the voices and there's some more advanced AI models that are needed for some of the cabin crews, et cetera. So we've kind of rolled that into, refillable credits that you can purchase. So if you want our more advanced human sounding voices, you can sort of prepay for the credits and use those up. And, $10 is going to be enough to get you, 10 to 20 flights, just depending on how much you talk to these guys. If you spend the whole time, nonstop talking to them, it's fewer. If you use it sort of, more to the cadence of a normal real world pilot or flight, it's a lot less. But honestly, our standard voices are awfully good. And you probably, most people are not going to need or even want this.
Like this as a product, it doesn't give you the ATC element, right? Air traffic control. What it does give you, and again, it's just to outline it, it'll give you access to the AI cabin crews, the tour guides, the flight mentor, and ground services coming online, such as pushback and catering coordination. And you also have access to the taxiway markings, linings, the maps, all that kind of jazz as well. So, as a standalone product, it is very complete. Because, as you say, this is, it's I don't know who is it targeted more so for those who are going to be using the likes of maybe VATSIM, but they want this kind of immersion to really complete the thing.
I'll be honest, I can't think of a single type of flight simmer who wouldn't want this, right? Okay, so you're flying if you're flying the big metal and you want the commercial experience, obviously you're going to want a cabin crew, right? If you're flying small VFR airplanes, you're probably going to want either the tour guide or the mentor to be with you. If you're a bush flyer, you definitely want the tour guide. But I think the one that hits every single category is the radio chatter. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's really good because what you're hearing is the chatter from our base product, our base ATC product. And man, you tune to ground at JFK, you hear ground at JFK. You tune to, John Wayne Tower, you're hearing chatter that is contextual to John Wayne Tower, right? And you hear our, sweet AI voices acting as controllers, and man, it feels so alive when you turn on the chatter, and you have to tune the frequencies, right? So you tune John Wayne Tower on, I don't remember what it is, 118.0 or something, and it all comes to life. And so you're still using the radios. Yeah, there's enough in here that I think every single type of flight simulator or simmer, single type of flight simmer will find something in here where they go, oh wow, this is worth it. This is really neat.
It's awesome, dude. It really, really is. And again, it's having the ability. I mean, there's questions coming in. What can the mentor do? I mean, well, pretty much anything. I mean, you ask them. So, for instance, I'll ask them a question, right? I'm flying a Boeing 737 MAX 8. Can you give me any advice on how to fly this airplane? Let's see what it thinks.
Well, you asked a very, very generic question. In a second, I'm going to have you do a really specific one.
Absolutely. Two-tone. When flying the Boeing 737 MAX 8, pay close attention to the auto throttle system. It can help maintain your desired airspeed during climb and descent. Also, be mindful of the MCAS system. Understanding its operation
just mentioned the MCAS system
for handling pitch stability.
Yeah.
For example,
So here's what I want you to do. In fact, I'm pulling it up right now. I'm pulling up a picture of the overhead panel on the 737, and maybe you've got. Is that the airplane you've got loaded right now?
Yeah.
Just a sec. I want to see. Just pick a random switch, the most complex switch you can see up there, and ask it what that switch does.
What does the yaw damper switch do on the 737? Press the wrong button. What does the yaw damper switch do on a 737? Let's have a listen.
the yaw down first switch on the Boeing 737 is used to activate the yaw damper system. This helps to reduce adverse yaw during turns and improves overall stability. When engaged, it automatically adjusts the rudder to counteract any yawing motion, making your turns smoother. Just remember, it's particularly useful during autopilot operations.
That's kind of cool. Like, I mean, anything you're unfamiliar with in the aircraft, you can just say, hey, what does this do?
Anything.
That's nuts.
Anything. Yeah. Anything you want. Like, what does the right recirculating fan, what's the difference between, you know, on and auto, for example?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts. Anything in that airplane will work. And by the way, that applies to every airplane that you could possibly imagine. So you can grab the most obscure airplane you can think of and start asking about the controls and the dials in that airplane, and it knows what's up.
I love
it's really
that.
cool.
I'm going to throw it a curveball now. Let's see what happens. Can you explain to me how to do a DME arc? That's the worst thing to hear from ATC. A DME, what? Yeah, sure. Look. He's going to tell us.
Sure thing, Two-Tone. To fly a DME arc, first, identify the DME station you want to use. Set your navigation radio to the frequency of that station and ensure you have the DME distance displayed. Then fly at a constant distance from the station by adjusting your heading to maintain that distance. For example, if you're flying an arc at 10 nautical miles from the station, keep your DME reading around 10 miles while adjusting your heading as needed.
Yeah, it works minimalized. Cyrus is just asking the question. Like, I don't need that on the screen to interact with it.
Yeah, in fact, okay, can I just respond to that really quick? Because this is something that I'm super duper proud of with the way that we built this. Remember when I said, you know, no mouse clicks? If it needs mouse clicks, we screwed up.
Yeah.
We feel the same thing about the UI, right? You should be able to put that thing away and never look at it your entire flight. And we feel, same thing with ATC. You can put that thing away and never look at it, and you feel like you're really talking to ATC. It's super cool. Yeah, this is really important. That UI be completely optional. We get it. Some people want it and they want to be able to see the history, but you don't need it. Just tuck it away. Just get rid of it.
I love that.
Get back to the immersion part, right?
Absolutely. No, I love that. Hang on, I'm going to try something here, right? We're just going to change to a tour guide, right?
Oh, okay.
And we'll grab Sarah here for a second, and let's just see. I just want to test this. Hey, Sarah, what can you tell me about Shannon Airport?
It's a good one.
Shannon Air Force Base, located near Shannon Airport, was established during World War II and played a significant role in transatlantic flights. It served as a refueling stop for military aircraft and was crucial during the Cold War era. The base has also been involved in peacekeeping missions and humanitarian efforts. Today, it's known for its strategic importance and is a...
Not that our government would like to announce. Okay, she probably needs a bit tightened up on that, because I think it came across as an Air Force base. We don't have Air Force bases, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But
I like the question in your chat room. Where's the best to ask the tour guide, right? Because this would be where's the best Guinness I'm sorry, I'm going to mispronounce it. Tipperary? Did I say that right?
Yeah, well, that's where I live. Hang on a second. Where can I get the best Guinness in Tipperary? Now, if she comes back, and I'll tell you.
I have no idea how this is going to go. I have no idea how this is going to go.
I'm here to talk about the sites, but for the best Guinness in Tipperary, I'd recommend checking out local pubs in towns like Clonmel or Tipperary Town. They often have the freshest pints.
I mean,
that's pretty good.
Come on, man.
But the point I'm trying to make here is, I mean, this is a standalone product. It's a one-off fee. You pay it once. That's it. It's yours. And you have this level of interaction, be it with a tour guide or with a mentor. And okay, right, it might be a little bit sketchy around the edges until it figures out kind of how you speak to it, right? Shannon Air Force. However, I mean, I could easily say, hey, like, does it have like memory in it as well? Can I kind of half teach this? No?
We actually get this question a lot on the air traffic control side as well, which is, is this thing learning as I go? And the answer is its memory is limited to just your flight. And the reason we do that is because we really don't want everybody, all random flight simmers, teaching this thing. The results would be wildly unpredictable. So yes, it has memory. Yes, it learns. But as soon as you hit that new flight button, it all sort of resets. That actually is something that we're thinking about and working on, and possibly as the tech gets a little bit further along, and I mean, months, not years. Being able to add a memory context window that's specific to each pilot. That's very high on my list, so that it adapts and learns to you, and it's continuous, right? It remembers things between sessions. We need things to get just a little bit further. I know right what we need, but I think we'll get there early next year would be my guess.
I love the thing, like the forward thinking is awesome. So just to recap, Entourage effectively is the supporting cast. This is a standalone product. It's a one-off fee, and it gives you everything outside of ATC. So it's going.
That's right.
She's given out. So it gives you all the control of your tour guide, your mentor, your cabin crew, and you're going to add more things like, your ability to talk to dispatchers and folks on the ground and pushback. And it's all for one fee. And this is locked in. I think I'm writing this $34.95 US.
Yeah, $34.95 is the introductory price. We want to get it out there at that price to as many people as have been dying for this. So we figured we'd toss it out there at that number. Mm-hmm. If it's okay, I'd also like to clarify, because we get this question all the time. If you are a SayIntentions subscriber and you have our ATC, you get all of the Entourage features already, right? These guys have already had all this stuff forever, and they'll continue to get all these features forever. So if you're buying our core premium product, you're paying the subscription fee, you already get all of this.
That's awesome. So I mean, if you're on the active subscription, which again, it has to be said, that's pretty much half the price today than what it was when you guys first released it, especially if you go for the full 12 months.
That's right. If you go for the full 12 months, yes, our compared to where we launched 9 months ago, it's roughly half the price of what it was when we first launched. That alone is incredible, and it shows you the trajectory that we're on with this thing. So going from the price that we launched at to now being half the price for the subscription to now being able to take a large subset of the features and offer it at a one-time fee. I mean, you can see how rapidly this stuff is progressing. Yeah. And we really are committed to getting this into as many people's hands as we possibly can. Like, we're really trying here.
Yeah.
I love that.
Well, it has to be said, though. I mean, it's the sheer speed and features that you guys are constantly thinking about. And look, this sort of an ability for someone who perhaps isn't used to kind of or not even confident talking to other people. This would work, say, for us. I mean, we do group flights all the time, right? So if you're on a group flight, and okay, I'll bore the crap out of everyone talking about history and whatever else, but like, you can go flying in a location and ask the tour guide, hey, what's this place all about? Or hey, what can you tell me about this location, or even this airplane? And it's done so without clicking buttons, without using the mouse, as you say. It's a push to talk switch somewhere on any peripheral that you're using, and you have that instant link to it, and a mentor, which I can only imagine. I mean, what it's capable of doing and its knowledge base. I mean, that's going to it's probably getting bigger every day, right? I mean, eventually this will probably lead us down the road to, as you say, you want the thing to be able to interact. You want it to be able to switch, flick the buttons, and you sit back with your pint of Guinness and everything's grand. So, like, I mean, that's kind of what the future is. It's out there, so you're moving towards it.
Moving fast. We always joke internally. We say, if you don't like SayIntentions, just wait 20 minutes.
It's brilliant. But like, what else? I mean, I know you guys, you do your weekly updates or monthly updates as well, with new things that are coming in. Is there anything, without releasing too much information, like, do you have something huge that you're working on? You don't need to tell us what it is, but is there like something big happening, or you're still focusing on just bolting on all the other ideas?
No, we have big coming. There's a lot of flight sim developers, and I'm not saying this is right or wrong. It's just, a decision, who will announce big features, months or a year or 2 years before they come out, and, sort of build the hype. We kind of take a very different approach, where I don't actually like to talk about stuff that's coming until it's like days away. In fact, even mentioning that the ground crew stuff was coming later this year, it kills me, because it's not ready now, right?
Yeah.
So I know I'm sidestepping your question. The answer is yes. There's actually, I can think of two big things that are coming, that are imminent, that I just don't want to say until we're like at that point where I can be like, here it is, you can try it now. Like, it's ready. Here it is, right?
Yeah.
And you mentioned our weekly developer update that we do. I do a live cast every Thursday, where we talk about, what we've accomplished that week, what we're planning on accomplishing the next week. I would say in about 90% of those, we announce some new feature, sometimes 2 or 3 features every single week, that we just say, here it is, it's available now. It's yours now. Many of them ATC related, many of them not ATC related, right?
No, it's huge. And like, again, it's ideas that you're able to kind of pick up on and say, we could try that, or we'll at least test it. I mean, like, for yourself, Brian, I mean, looking at the feedback, if you like, from 2024, right? I mean, it's what folks showcased, what Microsoft themselves have spoken about. Have you seen anything in there that either poses as a challenge, or do you see a lot of opportunity?
Maybe more so than anybody else in the flight sim community, I'm excited for 2024, because we've seen stuff in there that we are going to be able to take to the next level.
Oh, wow.
And I'll even give you a teaser here, and I haven't mentioned this to anybody.
Exclusive, lads.
But here you go. We have some of the coolest things you can imagine for helicopter operations. This is a big focus for Microsoft Flight Simulator in 2024, with things like search and rescue and oil rigs and all this other stuff. We are going to light that stuff up in ways that is going to absolutely blow people's minds. It's going to be so cool. Anything in the aviation world where there's another person involved, and helicopter operations are a great example of that, right? Anything, emergency, search and rescue, medical, all that stuff, any of the HEM stuff requires other people, right?
Yeah.
And when people see what we've done there, it's going to turn heads.
That's incredible, man. I can even kind of half picture this in my head already. I mean, you're sitting there, next thing, we just got a call, you need to take your chopper out to such and such a location, and then the person on the ground will talk to you by sat phone or something. I mean, like, it's just mind-boggling what the future might look like with this.
I'm excited.
That's going to be awesome.
The more we see of what Microsoft Flight Simulator is bringing to life, the more we realize how much this is in our wheelhouse. Look, we're very good at IFR, but if you look at the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, feature set, the vast majority of the new things coming in 2024 are, VFR and bush flying and, all this other stuff. Man, we are so good at that stuff. And as we look at the features, we are chomping at the bit to light things up. We've got lots of things on deck that we're just holding on to say, once 2024 launches, we're going to bring that stuff to life in ways people can't even imagine right now. It's going to be so fun.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. A couple of questions coming in. Anything on traffic injection, but also monitoring aircraft that are in the sim, things like multiplayer. Are there plans there? What can you manage? Or
this falls under the big things that I'm not going to say a whole lot about right now. But the answer is the stuff that we've got on deck there is again, it's going to turn heads. We're doing some things that nobody else is doing, and I'm taking every ounce of self-control I have not to talk about it right now. Let's just put it that way.
And I'm very persuasive, but I won't target you. No, Brian, I have to say it's very refreshing. I saw the booth that you had at Expo, the excitement that you had there, and I suppose when you first launched this product, there was already heavy competition there, right? And it's how friggin' proactive you've been. And even with the challenges when they hit you, because that taxiway, that was a huge issue. That was it was a big issue. It was a big one, and I remember. I think you were on with Howard for the Learn to Fly, and you were thinking, man, I don't know how we're going to beat this. And here we are, and you're like, yeah, that's old news. We got past it.
Done. And our solution's great, and it's amazing, and everybody talks about it as being sort of the gold standard now. And I look back and go, man, that was not an easy problem to solve, but This is how we work. We don't make excuses. We tackle the problem, right? We want it to be right. We want it to feel real. And that's been our philosophy since day one. And I love that you've sort of been following along since, those early days where we've kind of, we know it's a problem, but we don't know how we're going to fix it yet. It's interesting that now we have a whole set of new ones like that, where we look at and go, wow, that's a problem. We don't know how we're going to fix it yet, but we're going to do it. And again, taking every ounce of self-control I have not to talk about what some of those are, but it's going to be really cool when we launch these. I'm very excited.
That's awesome. So traffic injection, it is definitely being, just to answer a few questions coming in from the chat, because the lads are all terribly excited. Traffic injection is definitely something that's being looked at.
Oh, yeah. No, look, let me be very clear. For sure, coming sooner than anybody thinks, and it will be, I think, better and different than everybody thinks. We're taking a very unique approach here, but it's going to feel incredibly real.
Okay.
It really is going to feel like it's happening in real time, and there's real people involved in this, and it will not feel robotic, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, my stay tuned.
Awesome. So I think we're losing connection to you, which is brilliant, because it's like, you can't say anything else, Brian. Stop letting all the secrets out. So
frozen with a very weird look on my face.
Yeah, there's bad weather on the way, so we know what the crack is. But listen, Brian, thank you so much. We're cracking there, took him offline. You're saying too much. Brian, we'll catch up soon. It's just refreshing. I get really interested in developers who are just so passionate about what they're doing. Because it's refreshing for us, right? There's enough drama out there for anyone to watch, but I love folks who are saying, hang on, look, we can make this thing better for everyone. And you're certainly now kind of, you're catering to a lot of needs now, because you have your fixed pricing structure, and you also have your monthly one as well. So it's all very exciting. So great news, and thank you so much indeed for joining us here tonight. It's been awesome.
And Jesus, I just can't thank you enough for the chance to chat with you. For real. You've always been very good to us, and I appreciate you giving me a second to show off our cool toys.
Anytime, I'll have to have you on again. And we'll need you. I'll give you a new word to work on instead of Jesus. The Jesus
please.
Is good, right. But 100%. Listen, Brian, thanks a million. And guys in chat, do be sure to put a big pint of Guinness in the chat for Brian for sharing all the news with us. Definitely exciting times coming. So, Brian, we'll catch you soon. Thanks a million.
Thank you, sir.
And we'll press a button up here, and that was Brian from SayIntentions. Jesus, lads, I have to do loads of stuff. I'm super. Hang on a second now, right? So, can you tell me a joke about a Boeing? Let's see what this says now, right?
Why did the Boeing get kicked out of the party? because it couldn't stop winging it.
Right. Well, right. She's a bit of work to do. Right. Where am I at now? Was this sort of thing come to life? I don't think it did. I don't know. The good news is,
Murph, here is your coffee. Those girls in the back were busy, they said. Lazy they are. Here. All right, I'm off to the jacks. Ta-ta.
Ta-ta. Brilliant. Right, now, what was I going to do there? Did we get a... Hang on now. Donnie. Let's see here now. Right, I don't think we're going to get the fucking wolf just yet, friends. So we'll leave that for our next stream on the news. But that was exciting now from SayIntentions. So they didn't tell us much, but they told us everything. I love that, right? Brilliant. And that kind of concludes our time here. I was going to show off the Max a little bit. You can see there's a new livery after being added, which is absolutely beautiful. No release date on this machine yet. The price was released, which is interesting. And
Hello there.
I'm confident we should see this hopefully sooner rather than later. As for the fucking wolf, we just have to wait. I have a build, but it's not the fully one. It's going to release tomorrow. You're going to see it. Anyone who's used flying iron simulation aircrafts, anyone who's used them products before, well, you know where their warbirds are at. They're stunning, right? Sounds, flies, everything about them. They're absolutely incredible, right? So what I will do, I might just show you just a preview of an exterior of it. Do we even have it, Murph? Bet you I didn't even turn it on. That'll tell you the level of Egypt I am. Right now. It's there. So why can't I see it? There she is. So we'll just load this up into the hangar, because I know the lads are working on another build, and I just don't want to be that guy who shows it off, because they're very passionate and very proud of their work. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. So an upcoming aircraft, lads. You're going to expect to see this tomorrow. You can see it here on the screen. I can't go into much detail about it because they're still working on it, and the build that I have here hasn't been. This isn't the one, obviously, that's going to be released. Now, you'll probably look at it and say it looks absolutely gorgeous. Just to give you an idea, right? Jesus. The scale, the size of this airplane, absolutely massive. It's huge, right? And as I said, think of the Focke-Wulf 190. This is the pro wrestler compared to that of the Messerschmitt 109. The 109 being the gymnast. Do you know what I mean? So there's a lot of work has gone into this aircraft, and I can tell you it sounds, looks, and flies incredibly. And even a quick look inside. I mean, you've seen this from the trailer. I may not be showing you anything new, but you do have the options. You can change the decals from German into English to help you along, see what you're doing. But you can see how kind of, like, even texture-wise, how sharp everything is here. Like, absolutely incredible. Incredible, you know, and the functionality. And also, it's interesting, considering it's a German aircraft, because they weren't that all easy to fly. This is relatively easy to fly. In terms of a starter procedure and getting everything up and running, it's actually done quite well. Do you know what I mean? So you'll see, you can see just even from this earlier build preview, you can see already the work that's gone into this. I mean, look at the details. They're absolutely stunning. Incredible stuff. So anyone interested in, flying iron with their aircraft, we're going to see this available very, very, very soon. And there's a number of different liveries. The sounds, all. I mean, look at the width of the landing gear on this thing. Isn't that incredible? Do you know what I mean? And then, of course, hello, the detail. The detail is absolutely stunning. And we will see it an awful lot better. Once they have the aircraft released, I will be flying this. We'll do a full tutorial on how to get, how do we take off without, crashing. But yeah, it's exciting times. Flying Iron do incredible work with their aircraft. So, as I said, you'll see it available. It's going to be released tomorrow at some stage. And, the very best of luck to Flying Iron, because, well, they just make really nice stuff, do you know? But, lads, that's going to do it for tonight. My thanks to Brian and to McCracken, all the lads over at SayIntentions. Very, very exciting stuff. We also saw the BRSIM Design, the 5B Tiger, the Grumman Tiger. Beautiful, beautiful little general aviation aircraft. Priced at around $20 as well. Really, really nice. And well, I hope this is enough to kind of dip your toes into what Flying Iron will be releasing tomorrow.
Hello there.
And I can tell you, I mean, if you enjoyed the Spitfire, any of the Flying Iron aircraft, if you've enjoyed them, you're going to love this, because it's just up there. And the sounds and all this stuff, absolutely incredible. So we're back to you on Friday night. We have a group flight on Friday night. What are we doing on Friday? Oh, yes. We're flying the T-33 jet trainer from Inibills across Canada. Challenging landings, canyon runs, and all that sort of jazz. And then if all goes well, we shall dabble with Forza. I have Forza reinstalled, so I might do a bit of racing after the stream on Friday night as well, just to kind of beat Gibbo, I suppose. That's the main reason. That's you know. So, right, lads, thank you all so very, very much indeed for everyone for hitting that like button over on YouTube, for all the support and follows and subs that we got here on Twitch and YouTube as well. Lads, thanks a million. I can't thank you enough. Massive thanks to Brian and McCracken and everyone at SayIntentions. They're doing incredible stuff. They really, really are. Exciting now, to say the least. And, right, that's it for me. Good luck now, and we'll see you on Friday. Yeah, it is Friday. What day is today? Oh, it's Wednesday. Right, good luck to you. Right? And let's give it a blast. Right! Let's have a listen. If it was me, do you know what I'd do? I'd start with a letter of apology.
Oh, it's still going. Look, it's reversing.
Mind the brakes, you'll tip it over. You've heard of tipping cows.